Hardees.com.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
It's time for The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. We will bring you nonstop sports news from the national and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no slap.
Welcome back into The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. I hope everyone out there is having a great Friday afternoon. And boy, have we reached the bottom of the barrel today.
That's really true, Jim.
I am kidding. I am
More
kidding.
than you know.
Hey, listen, we got Corey Lindbergh is filling in for both Jacob and Andy today. So apparently you're good enough you can fill in for two people.
I mean, I would say,
and wait a minute, we've actually got Ryan running the board today. So we have really reached.
That is bottom of the barrel.
We have reached the bottom of the barrel.
I would say I could probably do two of Andy and one of Jacob. I don't know.
Is
we'll
that
see.
right?
Two of Andy probably.
So Corey, tell everyone out there that's listening, who is Corey Lindbergh?
Yeah. So my day job, I mean, obviously I make a lot of money doing this with you today, but my day job, I'm the principal at Ocoee Middle School, and my wife and I live in Cleveland. We're from here. My wife teaches and coaches at Walker Valley High School, and we love sports, love our local community. We're Bradley County people, and I listen to you guys about every day, so I do feel somewhat qualified to be here.
And you are a Bradley Bear, so you're on my good list now. So
yeah, I graduated from Bradley in 2002.
2002.
Yes, sir.
And your wife just got an award?
She did. She's won several this year. I appreciate it. She won the TSSAA AF Bridges Female Coach of the Year award.
Yep.
And really, listen, I'm in amazement of that woman every day. So I'm just thrilled to live with her, watch her do her thing. It's
state champion.
State champion. Yeah, TSSAA Coach of the Year. It's been a great year.
That is hard to do because by the way, and you just won the middle school principal of the year in this state. So congratulations!
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Listen to this. This guy talks about his wife, doesn't even talk about himself. Congratulations!
That's a smart man.
Thanks, I appreciate it. It's we've got great people in our community. We've got great schools. I work with great families and teachers and parents every day. It's just a great, Ocoee Middle is a great place to be. Thank you.
It is a great school,
Thank
and
you.
I know a few people that are out there, and their kids love it out there.
Thanks.
So that's a reflection on the administration.
Appreciate that.
All of that. Andy's Jacob's boss.
That is true.
Can't leave that
is
part
true.
out.
I
He is
got to
also
say
Jacob's
nice
boss.
things about Jacob. Jacob is, all kidding aside, Jacob is a super talented educator. He works with our students with disabilities.
Yes. Yep.
And man, just what a big heart for
That
those
takes a
kids.
special individual to be able to do stuff like that. It really does.
It really does. I expect, it's a lot more than I expect out of a Georgia Bulldog guy, to be honest with you. But, Jacob's a great man.
By the way, we will be talking Tennessee, Florida today. We've got Caleb Giroux from the Daily Times. We're going to be calling him around 5:15. We're going to get his take on the Vols as they travel down to Gainesville today. Now, I had the show lined up how I wanted to go, and then late this afternoon, I saw an article, USA Today. They ranked the best FBS programs of all time, and that's college football, the bowl, the football bowl subdivision, which is the big boys, the SEC, the Big 10, Big 12, ACC, all those guys. They ranked the top 25 programs of all time. And honestly, I think they got most of the schools right. It's the order.
Yeah.
It's the order that I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And listen, when Andy sees this list, he will go nuts.
Yeah,
okay?
he will freak out. He will not be happy.
He will not be happy. So I'm going to go over all 25, and then we're going to go into it a little bit here.
Sounds good.
Number one, Alabama. I have no problem with that. Alabama's got all these more national championships than anyone else. They've got a tremendous winning percentage. that's just a winning program year after year after year after year. It just is. Ohio State right up there, number 2. Oklahoma, number 3. Texas, 4. Michigan at 5. They've got Georgia 6. They've got USC 7. I haven't mentioned Notre Dame yet. Notre Dame is number 8. That one, I'm like, huh? I think Notre Dame deserves to be higher than 8th. But listen, this is the USA Today. Number 9, they've got LSU. 10, they got Penn State. 11, Florida. 12, Florida State. 13, Clemson. 14, Miami Hurricanes. 15, Oregon. 16, Tennessee. Now, I know Tennessee's history, and it's extremely rich. There are not 15 other programs that have a better history than Tennessee. I think Tennessee's a top 10. I think they're on the verge of 9, 10, or 11. I think they're in that mix. They're not 16. I'm sorry, they're just not.
That seems a little low. But you and I were talking about this is subjective.
This is a lot of recency bias right here.
Really, if we're talking about, are we talking about value in the programs? Are we talking about NIL money? Are we talking about national championships? Are we talking about draft picks?
Well, when
how
they say
are we
all
valuing
time,
these
and by the way,
programs,
I'm glad you brought draft picks because Tennessee, they've put a ton of guys in the NFL. I think they're second in the SEC all time as far as NFL draft picks. Alabama's 1. I think Tennessee's 2nd. So that right there, there's several SEC teams listed ahead of Tennessee. All right, Nebraska is number 17. Auburn 18. Boise State at 19. I'm sorry, and I know my former pastor was a big Boise State fan. Boise State is not the 19th greatest college football program of all time. They're just not.
I wonder how many people could name a Boise State Bronco right now outside of Ashton Genty. Can anybody name a Boise State? I'm just curious. I mean, when we talk about the number 19, because all 18 of those in front of those, I bet people in our audience right now could probably list. Oh yeah, man. Because you're reading them.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here thinking players in my mind.
I mean, Auburn, Bo Jackson.
Right,
exactly. They put just tremendous players in.
Yes.
And Boise State, and listen, they didn't start their program till, after I was born.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you.
Not sure about that.
All right, Ryan,
Okay,
you guys.
so finish your 25.
Okay.
But when you get to the end of that, I've found what I'll refer to as an alternative list.
Oh, okay.
For you.
Okay, so Wisconsin is 20, Texas A&M 21, Washington 22, Michigan State 23, Iowa 24, Utah 25. I don't have a problem with none of those schools. I have a real problem with the order of some of these. But Boise State, I'm sorry, they're just not one of the top 25 all-time programs. They're just not.
Okay, so your list is from ESPN.
Yeah. No, USA Today.
USA Today. Okay, ESPN did a list in 2019. The 50 best college football programs for over the first 150 years of college football.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go down the top 10, and we'll see how those match up from the differences there. So number 1, Alabama, which is also your number 1. Mm-hmm. Number 2, Notre Dame.
They've got Notre Dame 8th.
In 6 years, 6 spots.
No.
That's a heck of a drop. Ohio State's at 3, Oklahoma 4, USC 5, Michigan 6, Yale 7, who is not in your top 25.
They put FBS, though, because Yale is now an FCS, a football championship
Fair enough.
subdivision school.
Fair
so
enough.
they would not be included in this.
Nebraska 8, Texas 9, and then another, I'm pretty sure,
Is it Harvard?
FCS school. No, North Dakota State.
North Dakota State. That's
15 national titles.
Well, like you said, but if you're going on championships, that makes sense.
That's FCSO, but this is just FBSO.
And they also have Princeton, Penn State, Harvard. They actually have Tennessee at 14.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, if you took out North Dakota State or
Princeton, Yale, Tennessee would be like number 10.
10, yeah. But listen, and I know we don't have there may not be a single Boise State fan listening to me that's getting mad at me right now. And I appreciate what Boise State has done over the last 30 years or so.
Yeah.
But history goes back to the 1890s, 1880s in some places. Boise State, I don't even know if it was a college yet. They sure didn't have a football team yet. Listen, they're not one of the top 25 greatest of all time. FBS programs of all time.
No.
They're good. They're right up there. And they're not last, okay? They're not last. But they're not in the top 25.
They are not. That's just not a top 25 team. The fact that they're over they're just so many storied programs out there. to put them in that conversation to me is
1933 was their first year of the
but
program.
they dropped their football program for a little bit, and I think they resurrected it like 1968, 69, 70, somewhere around there. And because they were playing like as a Division III or Division II program.
They were actually a JUCO school for a while.
So then when they became a full-fledged football program, it was like around 1970 or something like that.
I will give them credit for what amounts to basically a 72.5% win percentage all time. That's not nothing, but again, that's also FCS predominantly. So
yeah, but anyway, so enough about that. But when I ask you when you first got here,
Yeah.
By the way, don't you love it? I meet you, and
Yeah,
within
I
5
love
minutes, I'm like, give me your top
Hey,
10
it's all right.
football programs of all time. Put him on the spot, man.
It's all right. It's tough. It's fun to talk about, and a lot of those programs, especially West Coast and some of those other programs, we don't pay a lot of attention to here in SEC country. And I know I listen to you enough to know you're a little bit of a Big Ten guy.
I'm an Ohio State
so-
guy. I'm not as big a Big Ten guy as I am an Ohio State guy.
Yeah.
That's just where I am.
But here, it's everything we hear here, and I'm a Tennessee guy. SEC, it's an SEC bias here, and so some of those programs, sometimes we don't give them the credit that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. But anyway, it is fun to do this stuff. And Ryan, you're looking up some more stuff. I'm just curious.
I'm looking at their all-time players at Boise State because you just had me curious.
I mean,
Name 'em, Ryan.
Caleb Moore, is pretty good.
Doug Martin, excellent
Yeah,
NFL
Doug
running back.
Martin,
Yeah,
yep.
They've had
in
some
Tampa
players.
Bay. DeMarcus Lawrence, one of the Cowboys' better defenders
Yep.
of all time.
Like I said, they've put some guys in.
Yeah, there are definitely some names on here, but there's also
a lot of.
okay. I tell you what. So they did 25 with Boise State. Who swap it? Replace Boise State on that list for you.
I'll put Missouri in there.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just throwing one out there. I think Missouri's got a richer history of major college football. I could put UCLA in there. I could probably name a good 15, 20 programs I think that would be deserving and the key word is all time.
Yeah.
If you say the last 50 years, absolutely Boise State's one of the 25 in the last 50 years.
I'm a
They
little
are.
surprised by Utah as well. We didn't talk
Yep,
about it
yep.
any more on that list, but I'm a little surprised by
It's so
Utah
funny
as well.
because Utah, they have a rich history in college basketball. It goes way, way back.
Sure.
Football, Urban Meyer. Talking about Urban Meyer, he's being, he's going to be, I guess, honored by Florida this weekend.
Right.
He turned Utah into a really good program, and they've maintained it ever since he left. He left Utah to go to Florida, and of course he left Florida to go to Ohio State. But Utah, they were really a mediocre football program, and ever since the mid 2000s, they've been pretty darn good.
They have, yeah, they're solid. It's just I didn't see them. I wouldn't name them as a top 25 program in the country.
I probably wouldn't either. But I think I could justify them even over Boise State because their history goes back further. Sure. It really does.
And folks, sorry, Jim. Let us know what you're thinking. Give us send a text message in 423-749-1013. Let us know who you'd move around, who you'd put in, take off, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking with Caleb Giroux from the Daily Times. We're going to talk a little bit about Tennessee at Florida this Saturday night at the Swamp. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. We'll be back after this.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week, they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Don Ledford's pre-owned vehicles are being sold for Black Friday pricing all month long. Why wait until the end of the month when you can get these big savings now? Come in and save big on our great selection of over 85 of the finest pre-owned vehicles you'll find anywhere. We have all brands too, including Buick, GMC, Chevrolet, Ford, Jeep, Honda, Hyundai, Mazda, Nissan, Ram truck, Toyota, and Subaru. There is truly something for everyone. Don Ledford Pre-Owned Trucks and SUVs in Cleveland, the dealership to go to if you're looking for quality, variety, and a dealership you can trust to back up every pre-owned vehicle that they sell. Go online to donledford.com and review the vehicles you're interested in, and then visit our showroom at 4595 North Lee Highway in Cleveland to inspect and test drive your choice. You'll get a great deal during this annual event. So come in today to Don Ledford's Pre-Owned Center in Cleveland, where we've been selling pre-owned vehicles you can trust since 1981. Hurry! This sale ends December 1st, 2025.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Did you know that Tennessee does not yet have a specialty license plate for childhood cancer awareness? You can help us change that. We need 1,000 Tennesseans to pre-order the Childhood Cancer Awareness license plate. My name is Caroline, and I'm a childhood cancer survivor. I can tell you it would mean a lot to all the kids currently battling to see these gold ribbon tags on cars all over our state. Please help us increase awareness for childhood cancer by reserving your license tag today at childhoodcancertntag.com.
Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Visit milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Duracell in Cleveland is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one: medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com. And we're very, very pleased to have joining us today Caleb Giroux from the Daily Times. And we're going to talk a little Tennessee, Florida. How you doing, Caleb?
Hey, how are y'all?
Doing terrific, man. Man, it's been a while since we talked to you, and I just want to get your opinion on this game coming up Saturday night. Obviously, Caleb, we know that Tennessee's lost 10 consecutive games to Florida in the Swamp, and it's impossible for the players not to know that stat. Do you think Coach Heupel has brought that up to the team?
You know, that's funny you bring that up, because it was asked to Coach Heupel on Monday if he talks with the team, and he said he showed a video of the rivalry and kind of talked about the history. So the short answer is we don't know, but the long answer is, you know, for a lot of these kids, especially this Florida rivalry, I feel like it's tough to not know that Tennessee struggles in Gainesville. I mean, growing up myself, I've always in this rivalry saw Florida dominate, because I wasn't old enough in the 90s. I wasn't alive in the 90s to see when Tennessee and Florida were competing for championships and Tennessee was winning some of these football games. So truthfully, I don't even know if he has to bring it up, because I feel like it's something that a lot of these kids on the team, just growing up and watching college football, you know that, you know, Florida recently has dominated Tennessee at least this century. I mean, you look at the back-to-back championships they won, Florida that is, and especially during the division era, it felt like it was always, you know, before Georgia came up, it was Tennessee and Florida.
Yep, that's
and the
right.
winner of that game won the East. The winner of that game won the East, and it was usually Florida that won that game. So with no divisions, this game feels a little weirder. But I know on the Florida side too, they've talked about, especially for them too, it's a point of pride this week. To even as bad as their season has gone, like if you're Florida, you don't lose to Tennessee at home. So I think they're using that as a point of pride in Gainesville, and I'd be willing to bet the players in the facility in Knoxville know it as well.
Now, Caleb, I know we're going to talk about the Florida game, but I do want to deviate just a little bit. Boo Carter is from here, okay? He went to Bradley Central High School. Obviously, he is no longer with the football program. What are you hearing about him and where his destination may end up being? You may or may not know the answer to that.
Yeah, it's a weird situation overall, to be truthful, because Boo Carter claimed that he was injured, and that's why he wasn't playing a lot. But when you watch the film, there were some effort plays that the coaches had gripes with, and Boo Carter was never listed on the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it hard these days to say you were hurt if you're not on the injury report, because then somebody's got to be not telling the truth in that situation. And if it was Tennessee not telling the truth and they investigate it, then they could be hit with a hefty fine or punishment from the SEC for not listing him on the injury report.
Right.
But Josh Heupel said the trainers never felt like he should have been on the injury report. So it's an interesting situation. You know, I think the easy answer for where he might end up, I always lean back to the Colorado buzz.
Yep.
I'm sure, as y'all know, because he's from your area, around his signing day, there was buzz that Deion Sanders really wanted him in Boulder and that they're making a run at him before he eventually signed to Tennessee. So I feel like no matter where he ends up, I'm sure we'll hear something about Colorado being a player in this situation. I know his mom posts a lot on social media and has mentioned Colorado a lot in her posts. So I think that'd be one school to watch. But honestly, I mean, with as good of a player he is, if he can limit the off-the-field issues, I think he could play at really any school in the country.
Hey, Caleb, just to follow up a little bit on some of the injury stuff, we were just looking at we were going over the injury report and saw that there are 19 guys on Florida's injury report this week, and I'm curious, you know, with them being 3-7, and it was interesting to watch. We didn't know about they fought pretty hard last week. They knew they had to win 3 in a row to get to a bowl. We're talking about Florida here, you know, that when that happened, they were eliminated from bowl, you know, contention. Do you feel like that's had any influence on this injury report for Florida, or do you feel like this is straight up the injury report that would have been even if they're still fighting for bowl eligibility?
I would say it's a little bit of both, honestly. Like you hear all the time, a good example, I think, for Tennessee fans is Arian Carter.
Mm-hmm.
He's been dealing with just brutal turf toe injuries all season, which for anybody who's played sports knows that as funny as that injury sounds, there's nothing to laugh about when you've got that. I think he had double turf toe. So he was on the injury report every week, but he pushed through and played through it because he wanted to win.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, for a team not playing for anything, what incentive does a player have to push through an injury and maybe hurt their future prospects, you know, just to get the 4th win of the season? So I do think that plays a part in it. I mean, 20% of their scholarship players are on that injury report, which is just crazy to think about. I also think it just kind of sums up the season for Florida. I mean, you look at DJ Lagway, as highly ranked as he was, can't stay healthy. You know, some of their best players, Eugene Wilson is one. He can't stay healthy. So I think it's a mix of both, to your point of, you know, if this game on Saturday was competing for 2nd or 3rd in the SEC, maybe some of those guys would push through those injuries and play. But I certainly think, too, it's just been that kind of year for Florida and bad luck. And I'm sure some people on the Florida side of things think, you know, maybe a strength and conditioning change needs to be had with the new coaching staff. I'm not on the ground there to say whether that's true or not, but I think it's a little bit of both, to your point, because, I mean, everybody's hurt this time of year. Like, nobody's healthy
That's
in
true.
November when you've been through a whole season of SEC football. So it's a matter of, do I want to push through this pulled muscle, and maybe it gets worse, but I help my team win, or do I sit it out because I know I have a paycheck coming from the NFL and just wait on that?
Sure.
Talking to Caleb Giroux from the Daily Times, talking a little bit about the Tennessee-Florida game on Saturday night. Now, obviously, Florida is looking for a coach right now. I think they're looking for the next Steve Spurrier or the next Urban Meyer. In your opinion, Caleb, how attractive is the Florida job, and is it a better job than LSU?
So I think LSU is the best job for the simple fact that you're the only Power 5 school in that state. So LSU, to me, is such an easy place for a coach to have success, because when you take over that job, usually half of your recruiting class is done before you ever start. Every kid growing up in Louisiana wants to play for LSU, and a lot of those kids are 4 and 5 stars. I mean, just look at the NFL. Jamar Chase. I mean, Justin Jefferson was a 3-star in the state of Louisiana, and he's one of the best receivers in the NFL, won a championship. So I think you look at that for one, that the LSU job is an easy place to win recruiting-wise, which especially this day and age, it's hard to recruit. And you look at the fact that every coach this century not named Brian Kelly won a championship there. Les Miles won a championship and played in another. And no offense to Les Miles, but he wasn't running any special system. It was just he's going to recruit better guys and win the football games. So I would say LSU's the better job, but right now, too, you got to think about the political aspect. I mean,
yeah,
the
exactly.
governor's gotten involved there and really threw it into turmoil and made it, made what I would consider the best job in the country maybe a little tainted right now. But for a coach crazy enough who wants that challenge, he'll go over that. But I think Florida is another place that's a great place, easy place to win, a great job. You're in the SEC, you're in Florida. Florida's another talent-rich state. The other schools in Florida aren't good right now. I mean, Florida State is middle of the road trying to fire their coach probably. Miami is up and down. So even though you have other group of 5 teams there, it's easier to recruit. You're closer to Georgia. So if you can try to win some of those recruiting battles. And like LSU, Florida is going to invest in football. I think you'll always have that backing. And that's a place that has championships, has Heisman trophies, and knows what it's like to win football games. So I would say Florida's a close 2. I mean, they both have gripes, too. Like I've mentioned, the political state in Louisiana is not good. And then on Florida's side, theirs isn't much better. I mean, they're trying to hire a president. They had a candidate for president, but the governor said he was, quote, too woke. So you still got that going on, too. And then you also have to mention, too, like Florida's investing a lot of money into men's basketball, and Florida wants to be good at baseball, too. And in an era where there's a lot of money, everybody wants money, but there's a limited amount of money to go around. You look at LSU, all they have is football and baseball and women's basketball, and women's basketball doesn't require as much money as the men's side. So
Shaquille O'Neal is not. Shaquille O'Neal is not going to like to hear that from you. You do know that, right?
Hey, the women's side won a championship. Men's hasn't.
That's true.
That arena, I mean, truthfully, the basketball arena is leaking water onto the court sometimes, and they haven't fixed it. But if football tomorrow hired a coach and he needed $2 million to go get a 5-star quarterback, I bet he'd have that money in his hand.
Let me ask you something, Caleb. Do you think that Josh Heupel would be a target for any of these job openings? Because I never hear his name mentioned, but
it's a tough one. I think, would he do good at these places? I think so. Would they might want to talk to him? Yes. But for Josh Heupel, every time you take a job, there's push and pull factors. What would be Josh Heupel's push factors at Tennessee? He's revived a program that was in the dumps, and his AD was with him at UCF and brought him to Knoxville. So you've got that comfortability with your boss. I just don't see a reason why he would leave Tennessee, so I don't know the push factor there as much. Like a Lane Kiffin, for example. Pull factor, obviously, we just talked about LSU, Florida. Push for him is Ole Miss is traditionally not a very good football school.
That's true.
They don't really invest in football that much. Their stadium is small. The fan support you've seen is bad. So there's push factors there. For Josh Heupel, I mean, truthfully, the only push factor for him would be maybe the people who argue that Tennessee's hit its ceiling. But even then, if you're a good football coach, you can raise that ceiling, and I think he's working to do that right now. So I would say he might be a candidate for some of these schools, but I don't see a reason for him to jump. Now, if in 3 or 4 years, if there's a different athletic director and things are different, then maybe. But I just don't see why he would do it right now.
Let me ask you something. Of course, last year Tennessee won. Made the college football playoffs. This year, obviously, they won't. How excited is the fan base as far as bowl possibilities? Do they prefer a Florida Bowl, or would they prefer maybe going to Nashville, going to the Music City Bowl, or maybe the Duke's Mayo Bowl? What's the feeling as far as the fan base and the possibilities of a bowl destination for the Vols this year?
Yeah, that's an interesting one, too, because truthfully it feels like the following of football right now and everything's just kind of down because, it feels like college football now is college football playoff or bust.
Yeah, that's what it feels like, yeah.
And I really think the big thing, honestly, for Tennessee is you're not in the college football playoff. You were close a lot of times this year in what you expected to be a down year.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why I think this game is so big this weekend. This could be the difference between finishing 7-5 or pushing to be 9-3 and that bowl game being your 10th win. So honestly, I don't think people care as much about the bowl. If you're in a Florida Bowl and you finish the year with 10 wins in that Florida Bowl because you beat up on some Big Ten team, then I think fans feel a lot better heading into next year than if you're 7-5 and going to Music City or, some people even throw out the Liberty Bowl if they lose these last two games. Like, that doesn't really scream excitement. You finish 8-5 if you win that bowl, 7-6 if you don't. So I don't know if people care as much about the location, to your point, as, if you're going to, if you're going to the Dukes Mayo Bowl, you feel okay about where you're going next year and you end the year on a high note maybe. But if you end up in Music City or Liberty or even worse, like the Texas Bowl, I just don't think people are even going to care at that point.
Well, I feel like, Tennessee fans have always traveled, and that was always a draw, even in some down years for Tennessee, where they can get in a bowl. They know the fan base is going to travel. I mean, even it was what, minus 35 degrees in Columbus last year in that playoff game. And we were there like fools in our parkas and watching all that stuff. And, so I feel like just the way Tennessee's fan base travels, I don't think, it seems like a Florida Bowl, would be the preference for not that I speak for the rest of the fans, but I think a Florida Bowl would probably be preferable.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and to your point, like the Florida Bowls know that too.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Even if Tennessee is 8-4 and look terrible in these next two games, I still think the Florida Bowls will say, hey, we know that fan base is going to travel over, like if Vanderbilt finishes above them and doesn't make the playoff. Like, Tennessee fans will go to that bowl game.
Yeah.
So I think that helps them get a bump as well in some of these decisions. So that way they hopefully don't fall down to like a Music City or Liberty. Because I would think, like, honestly, the Dukes Mayo Bowl would probably be the worst bowl they may draw. Like the Texas Bowl projections don't make much sense to me.
You mean getting a big old vat of mayonnaise poured over your head isn't appealing?
Listen, when they played in Charlotte last year during the regular season against NC State, I was hoping they'd do it then, but they don't do it for regular season. They save it for the bowl game. So. And hey, and speaking of that, Tennessee fans packed out the Panther Stadium for that regular season game.
That's right.
And it's put on by the same organizer, so they know firsthand.
They know.
If they draw Tennessee, that a lot of people, like you mentioned, they'll make the 5-hour drive to Charlotte, spend a weekend in the city, spend money, go to the game. Florida Bowl, like I'm sure people will be vacationing anyway.
That's true.
Why not swing by and watch Tennessee? So that's a good point. I think fan investment and having that history of traveling really, really helps when you get into these bowl projections where, you might have the same record as a team or finish below a team, but does somebody want to pull Oklahoma for a bowl if they don't make the playoff when you can have Tennessee instead and know you'll have fans? So I do think the money is always a big object, especially today when you're pulling 12 teams for the playoff, and half of these bowl games don't have starters in them anyway.
That's true. All right, I'm going to put you on the spot here, Caleb. Don't you just love this? Do you believe that the starting quarterback for Tennessee in 2026 is on the current roster? Because we know they've got a big 5-star recruit coming in, and there's a history of Tennessee going into the portal and getting a transfer. Do you believe the starting quarterback for Tennessee is currently on the roster for 2026 in the first game?
Oh, man.
That would be Jake Berklinger and George McIntyre, of course.
Yeah, I'm going to say no. Now, I'll go George McIntyre as the backup. So I'll say no. And because you bring in Faison Brandon, the 5-star from North Carolina, who didn't play a lot of his high school season, so that's a question mark, but he came back in the playoffs. He looked good. And 2, I'll cop out a little bit and say I don't think somebody on the current roster starts game 1, but you never know what happens later in the year. I think George McIntyre looks really good. The staff is really, really high on him. He's a natural passer, and he fits the mold of a Josh Heupel quarterback to a T. Tall, lanky, can move, has the instincts, has the pedigree of a college football player. His dad was a famous coach. So I think he'll probably be in the running, but I just feel like they'll get a transfer as a backup plan and maybe let George McIntyre ease into it. It's tough right now to look at because you're stuck in the same – you had a solid plan with the Nico arc after paying him all that money and bringing him in, but mixing Joey in is interesting. And also, there was a front office sports report today that said Joey Aguilar has joined in a Diego Pavia lawsuit.
We were just looking at that, man.
That throws a whole wrench in everything.
Yep.
Is Faison Brandon, Caleb, is Faison Brandon going to be, is he an early enrollee? Is he coming in January? Or is he coming in December?
I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure he would be an early enrollee. He was hurt all year, and he actually played in his playoff game and did very good. So I'd be willing to bet he'll be an early enrollee just because he's got the normal public high school, and they want to get him on campus.
Now, let me ask you.
I'll be curious to see.
I'm sorry. Are you in Maryville, by the way?
Right now, I'm in Murfreesboro.
Oh, you're in Murfreesboro. No.
Yeah, Maryville is at Blackman tonight.
That we were going to ask you your feelings about that game. Just give us your thoughts about that game.
Yeah, I think it'll be close in the first half. I think Maryville's offense will pull away in the second half. Blackman hasn't really faced an offense like Maryville besides Oakland. Their defense is really good, so I think it can give Maryville trouble, but I think Maryville wins this game, and I think it sets up Maryville-Oakland next weekend in Maryville.
All right, give us the score for the Tennessee-Florida game.
Oh, let me go 30-27 Gators.
Oh,
wow! All right,
that would be interesting. I'll just leave it at that.
Hey, Trey Smack walk-off field goal.
Oh gosh, could you imagine, man? If Tennessee would beat 11 straight losses,
I just feel like with Florida, even though this is their worst year in recent memory, man, they're going to make it a point that they don't lose to. Those guys are going to be fired up, and they might go out against Florida State in their final game and drop a dud, but they're going to be fired up to not lose to Tennessee at home.
Do you look at this as a 7-5 year for Tennessee ultimately?
Honestly, I would. Through these last two, I think Tennessee does win one. I don't know. I know I just predicted Florida to win, but I don't know if it'll be Florida or Vanderbilt. But that final game against Vanderbilt, the same way I talked about pride for Florida, I think that'll come in against Vanderbilt in the final week of the season, especially in Neyland, senior day. Guys wanting to end on a high note. So Tennessee will be fired up for both of these. So I think 8-4 is where I would land. I think they'll split these last two games.
Caleb, how can our listeners follow you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at CalebJauro16. It'll be flooded with updates from Murfreesboro tonight as Maryville kicks off 7 Central Time, so 8 p.m. local for y'all. And then all my stuff's at the Daily Times covering UT sports, women's basketball, men's basketball, football, baseball, and then everything Blount County High School as well.
All right, man. Well, listen, you have a good time in Murfreesboro tonight and have a safe trip back home.
Awesome. Appreciate you, fellas.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. So he's going with the Gators, 30-27. I can see that. Listen, there comes a point where Tennessee's got to break this streak.
Listen, Tennessee does not play well at the Swamp. They really don't play Florida well at home. I mean, even some of those games in the years that Tennessee is a bigger favorite than they are tomorrow with the Ford. I'm not sure what it's at today, but they were a 4.5-point favorite last night. Mm-hmm. Even on games where they're favored by more than that, Florida ends up beating Tennessee. And so it's very difficult.
On paper, this looks like a mismatch to me. Tennessee should win this game and should win it by 10 points.
Yes.
But, man, they just cannot seem to get over that hump. It's almost a psychological issue going on right now. So, anyway, but we do appreciate Caleb coming on here with us. Let's go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we're going to wrap up everything. You're listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the General Manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
When you need a new roof, it's all about trust. Your home is too big an investment and you can't afford to make a mistake. Cleveland Plywood has the products and expertise you're looking for. Contractors have trusted them for over 50 years, and they carry only proven products from reputable suppliers like IKO. IKO Cambridge is one of the heaviest weight asphalt shingles you can buy, and their limited warranties are among the industry's best. Protect the investment you've made in your home. Go with the pros at Cleveland Plywood, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland. Call 472-3357.
Cleveland Tire Center for over 45 years with the best name in tires: Bridgestone, Firestone, Goodyear, and Michelin. Northley Highway, Cleveland. Cleveland Tire Center, where the name says it all.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
When it comes to your vascular health, you have a choice. Don't wait weeks for an appointment or settle for less than the best. At the Vascular Institute of Chattanooga, we make it easy. Timely appointments where you're seen in days, not weeks. No referral needed. We're the only vascular practice in the region to accept self-referrals. And we have 6 convenient locations. Expert care, always close to home. Choosing VIC means choosing the regional leaders in vascular care, where experience, convenience, and advanced treatment come together for you. Your health, your choice. Choose VIC. Call today or visit vascularinstituteofchattanooga.com.
When life gets busy, Little Caesars can be there to help with hot and ready pizzas and more from 4 to 8 p.m. You can't beat the taste of delicious pizza at a great price and hot and ready for dinner. 3 locations: Paul Huff, Key Street, and McGrady Drive, or order online.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Hey, I hope everyone's out there is having a good Friday, because it's going to be another good weekend. Listen, I know it's a little overcast today, but man, as far as temperatures, we're spoiled right now, guys. We really are.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, you have to almost be inside the studio on a day like today. It's great.
I'm telling you, man, we need to work in a convertible, right?
We're a week before Thanksgiving, and I'm wearing shorts still.
I know.
I think next weekend we won't be saying that.
No, definitely not.
But anyway, okay. Whenever I have guests on, I always like to pull some questions out of thin air, and it's a little different, because I mean, we could sit there and talk about the NFL and predict the games. If we got time, we'll do that. But there's a couple questions I want to ask you. I saw an article that listed the most irrelevant franchises / teams in professional sports. And my question to you is, what do you think of the most irrelevant teams in professional sports? In other words, to me, apathy is worse than people that are mad, because apathy means people just don't care. If people are mad, that means they care enough to be angry and upset and whatnot. But the worst thing that can be going on with any franchise or team is apathy. So in your opinion, what are the most irrelevant franchises that, in your opinion, and it could be any sport?
So do you want me to list a couple, or do you want me to just go
one by one?
Okay.
I want your opinion. Is this your opinion?
So when we talked about this earlier, I just kind of started. So just off the top of my head. Now, it's hard for me to say. Let me go this way first. I'm not a huge NBA guy. I like watching the NBA, especially when it gets toward the playoffs. My dad grew up an Indiana Pacer fan. I grew up like loving Reggie Miller and those guys in my house. But that's, that era of basketball is gone for me.
Yeah.
But when I think about irrelevant teams, I think about the Charlotte Hornets. Like right off the top of my head.
That's a good one.
Relevant in the 90s, went to New Orleans, came back as the Bobcats. That busted. Yep. They had like the worst record in the history of the NBA. And since Alonzo Mourning, Larry Johnson, and those guys, Muggsy Bogues, it's been downhill. I also thought about the Miami Marlins.
Gosh, that's a good one.
Outside of a couple of years, yeah.
And my goodness, they just the payroll is not there. They don't get the fan support. I mean, you can literally walk in their stadium any night, and
it's sad, man. It really is sad.
And then it's weird to even say an NFL team in this.
I'll give you mine.
Go
in the
for
NFL.
it.
Mine's the Arizona Cardinals.
Wow, why do you think about that one?
I never think about the Arizona Cardinals, and they're always mediocre to less than mediocre, but you never hear anything out of that franchise ever.
Well, I think, we have a lot of local Titans fans. I think right now, the Titans are irrelevant. I think the way they've drafted,
and they're building that brand new stadium up there, and they're going to have just a horrible franchise.
Not only building the new stadium, we've got several friends that are season ticket holders at for the Titans, have been for years. They're skyrocketing these ticket prices at the new stadium that you have to commit. And honestly, I'm afraid they're going to price themselves out of the market.
Well, what I think the Titans have got to do, I think I know it's 2027 when the stadium opens, so it's not next year, it's the year after next. They've just got to hit a home run as far as a new coach. Mm-hmm. They got to hit a home run, whoever that is. They've just got to make it exciting. They've got to do something to get the fan base, because I've heard that the sales of some of these suites is way behind schedule right now.
I'm sure it is.
And they're not getting nearly as many people to commit. And like you said, the prices are so high. Now, that being said, there's a lot of new money in Nashville and a lot of big money. So I'm thinking that at some point they'll get those sales, but they were expecting a lot more, up front than what they've been getting.
Who's a home run coach hire for them? Because I know in the NFL it's a relative. You don't throw names around with NFL coaches the same way you do in other sports necessarily. But I mean, what's the name to you that actually solves this in a meaningful way?
Oh, you're all gonna love this, and I'm gonna say this tongue in cheek.
He's gonna say Bill Belichick.
Lane Kiffin.
Oh, there we go.
Got to get Lane Kiffin driving the Titans.
He is, I believe, now confirmed to still be coaching through the Egg Bowl at Minnesota.
Oh my gosh!
And then they'll reassess after that game for
Lane
him.
Kiffin's he's rumored for every job. I don't know.
Would be.
I really don't know who they would get, but they've got a job opening right now, so
right.
I don't know what they're going to do.
Everybody.
It's a mess.
It is a mess. I don't think for the Titans, a college coach. I don't care. A college coach is not going to get that done. It's not going to bring the excitement for somebody. I don't care who that college coach is. Lane Kiffin. I don't care.
Nick Saban.
Well, okay. Well, Nick Saban.
And I mean, not that I think he's going to do this, but
he tried it.
That's true.
How did that go for him? I'm just thinking.
Really, Pete Carroll's the last one to. Do that well.
My mind just escaped. Who's the head coach of the Los Angeles Rams? Oh my gosh, his mind just went.
Adam.
No.
Sean McVay.
That's it.
Someone like that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. That I think would the fan base would go. Yeah, I like that.
This is our guy.
Yeah.
If they could, you just look at what some of these other franchises, you got to hire for your culture. You look at Chicago with Ben Johnson.
Look at
job
he's doing.
Jacksonville with Liam Cohen. Because I think in the past we would have said, hey, maybe Jacksonville is an irrelevant team.
Absolutely.
Even though they've had some runs.
Them and Carolina for that matter.
But I think somebody like a Liam Cohen. But I think there's some guys out there. I was thinking about like Todd Monken from he's the offensive coordinator with the Rams. With the Ravens.
That's right, and he's he's got the ties in the South too. And he got ties everywhere. He's been everywhere. So I think being in Nashville would be a great fit for him personally.
I just don't trust the front office to support any of these coaches with the Titans at this point. I mean, Mike Vrabel's making them look terribly stupid at this point.
Tell me about it.
I mean, Mike Vrabel, they had Vrabel.
And I know it wasn't working, but still.
But
it's
better than it is now.
So to me, I don't know that they're going to draw a coach because I don't know that they've drafted very well. When you're drafting guys like Will Levis out of the
okay, let me throw you a name that's been in Nashville before, James Franklin.
You know what? Of course, he's taken the Virginia Tech job.
Did he take the Virginia Tech job?
He did.
Okay.
But he's never been a pro coach. But
there's at least name value and success there.
I think James Franklin's a good football coach. I think Penn State's going to regret their decision there. But
I think that was a bad year or two feeling that you just let make a decision for you there.
Sure. All right, I'll throw some others out there that to me they're irrelevant. The Colorado Rockies, the Las Vegas A's. That's hard to get used to that. The Buffalo Sabres and the Columbus Blue Jackets in the NHL, Sacramento Kings and Portland Trailblazers NBA. Those are teams that I just really they're never on my radar.
You leave Chris Webber and Vlade Divac out of this.
That's right.
Sir. I was a Kings fan.
Oh,
and
Divac, baby.
That's mostly because I really, really hated the Lakers. But
Okay.
I was a Kings fan.
I got another question for you.
All right.
This one. What college football programs that have been mediocre in recent years that can become a real threat to make the college football playoffs soon, in your opinion? And I've got 4 teams written down, one from each major conference.
Give me who you got first. And
I've
I'll see if we
got
can match up.
Virginia Tech in the ACC, and that has a lot to do with James Franklin.
Yeah.
I think Virginia Tech, if you give James Franklin a couple years, he'll get the recruits. In fact, there's a lot of kids that were verbally committed to Penn State. They're looking at Virginia Tech now. So if they can get some of those guys to go to Blacksburg, I think he can get that Virginia Tech job or program turned around pretty quick. Nebraska in the Big Ten, we all know how great they were in the 80s and 90s. Well, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Nebraska they didn't take a back seat to anyone. They've been down for several years. I think that they're on the verge of getting back into relevancy. So that's one. Florida, I still believe that Florida is one of the best programs in the country when they've got the right coach. But they have to have the right coach. If they whiff on this hire, then this is not going to be true. But I think they're going to get themselves a really good coach, and I think you'll see Florida competing for the SEC. And if you're competing for the SEC, you're competing for the national championship.
Sure.
So that's Florida. And the other one, this one's kind of a stretch, West Virginia out of the Big 12. I think Rich Rod, I know that, he's been there before. He had him relevant at one time. He left, and the program just went on skid row for a while. He's back. This year's been a little bit difficult, but I think give this guy a few years. I think he can get West Virginia to be competitive in the Big 12. And if you're competitive in the Big 12, and you can make the college football playoffs. So those are my 4.
I think it depends, too. One program that came to my mind is Auburn. I think Auburn with a splash hire, could get something done. With the money there, with the NIL and the support. I just think the NIL landscape changes all of this. And we talk about Florida. I mean, look at what Vanderbilt's done this year. I mean, they were able to sink all that money into Pavia.
Yep.
I still think my belief is that Vanderbilt is not going to sustain this. I was listening to Feinbaum on the way to the studio today. I think Clark Lee may hang around. But when we talk about, programs that are close, I think Auburn could have a quick flip. Like you were talking about Florida. Florida's a great place to recruit. If they get a great coach in there, they're going to get the guys. Auburn is the same type of place with a storied tradition. They've got a lot of fan support. They've got some big money support in their donor base. And I just think with a splash hire, they get the right transfers. Like you're talking about James Franklin. Mm-hmm. He's going to bring some guys.
Let me ask you something. I'm glad you brought up Vanderbilt, because what's your opinion on Diego Pavia getting these extra years, because they're saying that the junior college does not count? What's your opinion about that?
I've
got an opinion.
I'm okay. My opinion off the bat is I think they should cap it. I mean, should they count? Yes, I think they should count. That's a player's choice.
I do too.
That's
it's always
choice.
counted. It's counted for 100 years.
It's a player's choice to go to that JUCO, and we see it locally, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, softball, soccer, whatever it is. We have kids that go and choose to play JUCO because it betters their career. They go and they play well for a couple years at a JUCO, have a chance at a bigger D2 or D1 school.
Right.
And the same thing, and I'm happy for a guy like Diego Pavia who can go play JUCO and then go to New Mexico State and finally make his way to Vanderbilt. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But does it mean he should get 7 years? No.
That's the thing that gets me, is he's getting, to me, a little bit of an unfair advantage. To me, your clock should start regardless of junior college is still college.
Yeah, you're still playing college ball.
That's something that I disagree with this stuff, but I think we may be in a minority. Most people I talk to say, "Oh no, I think that's right," and I'm like, "When did this is new?" And it all because they're getting paid $1 million to play college football now.
Sure.
And so I don't blame them for wanting to stay in college, because Diego Pavia is probably not an NFL prospect at this point.
He's not. I mean, he'll get invited to a camp probably.
And
I don't see him as a draft pick.
Yeah.
Joey Aguilar could be the same type of guy.
Practice squad guy in a couple of years for somebody.
Sure.
But
So let me ask you, you said Auburn. Are there any other schools out there do you think are like sleeping giants, if you want to call them that?
BYU's close. And look, here's what I know about BYU. Got some friends that are BYU fans and alum out there. BYU, I think right now, they're number 11 or 12 in the college playoff, college football playoff.
Yeah, they're number 11. They're on the outside looking in
really,
right now.
really close. Got a big game with Cincinnati this weekend. BYU is a storied tradition. They've got a lot of fan support. Not a whole lot else to do there, And so listen, BYU has got a storied tradition, a lot of fan base support.
Steve Young,
got some
Jim
money.
McMahon,
That's right. Got some money, and they've got a little bit of money now in their NIL coffers, and I think BYU could be a place that they can make a little bit of noise in the playoff.
Until a year or two ago, I'd have told you UCF. And then this year, that's certainly not been the case.
Well,
but
and here's the thing. Just 3 years ago, if you'd have asked me, I would have named some of these schools that I'm naming today. But there's no way I would have said Vanderbilt. There's no way I'd have said Indiana.
I was going to say, shout out to Indiana for
the NIL money
in a single year.
And the transfer portal has changed everything. Look how good Texas Tech is. And they've got a billionaire oil guy that's just funneling money in there, and they're getting recruits. They're getting kids that are transferring there. They're getting high school kids that are considering Texas Tech that never would have given them a second look because it was always about Texas and Texas A&M in that state. But the NIL has changed everything. I don't know who's going to be good and who's not going to be good because I think a lot depends on who's got the most money.
That's right.
I mean, listen, we all know that Mark Cuban, he's a multi-billionaire. Where did he go to college? Indiana University. He's been funneling a lot of money into that program, and the football team has benefited. Now, that being said, I think Kurt Cignetti is a heck of a coach. I think he's doing a great job.
Well, and Indiana went from being a basketball school, in air quotes, to one awkward Ohio State game away from the number one team in the country at this point right now. That's absolutely wild.
We'll see if they can sustain it. I'm still,
and absolutely.
But this is year 2 for them.
Yeah.
I'm like, last year I thought it was a fluke, and then they come back this year, and the quarterback they've got this year is even better than the guy they had last year. I don't know, man.
It's not the SEC, but 11-0 is not nothing.
Oh, no.
At this point, with their schedule.
They beat Oregon, and Oregon's a good in Eugene.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good win. All right, we've only got a few minutes to go.
Yep.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions.
Let's do it.
Some scores. I want you to give me your thoughts about this Tennessee, Florida. Who do you got?
So I just believe at the end of the day, I know Tennessee struggles at Florida. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think if Tennessee takes care of the ball, I think Tennessee's going to win this one. I think it's going to be higher scoring than what people think. Tennessee's defense has been so bad. I think Lagway looks like Tim Tebow 2.0 tomorrow. And I think Tennessee wins this one 37-30 on the road.
Oh, that would be a good score.
37-30, I think.
Okay, Oklahoma, Missouri.
So I'm not a believer in Missouri. I'm really not. I think a lot of their stuff is now. Say the same thing about Tennessee this year. Their wins are only against the bottom level teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to say I've got to take Oklahoma for some reason. When they figured out, listen, when they won at night in Neyland Stadium, that's one of the most raucous crowds that I've been a part of in years. And then they figure out a way to go to Alabama on the road at night and win that game. Listen, call me a believer in that Brent Venables defense. I'm going to give me Oklahoma. I'm going to say Oklahoma in this one, a little bit lower scoring affair. I'm going to say 27-24 Oklahoma.
Southern California at Oregon.
So that's an interesting one. Both teams still have like playoff aspirations. I saw I guess Oregon's favored by about 10, or they were at least a little bit ago.
That's a pretty big number in my book.
Pretty big number, but it's at Oregon. Oregon is super motivated, chip on their shoulder. I think Oregon wins this one actually a little bit bigger.
Do you really?
I do.
See, I think USC's going to play them tough. I think Oregon's going to win, but I think it's going to be less than a touchdown. Okay. I hope so, because that's going to be a game.
Yeah, give me Oregon in that one.
All right, last game we're going to talk about is BYU at Cincinnati. I think that one could go either way. The Bearcats are a pretty good team, and they are at home. So I know they lost it against Arizona last week, but I think Cincinnati's going to make it a ball game. I think it's going to be close, but I'm taking BYU, but I think it's like a field goal.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati's lost a couple in a row coming into this game. I think they're probably going to have a chip on their shoulder, but I just think BYU is super motivated. They're a really disciplined team. I had a chance to watch them last weekend. I just think BYU is a pretty good team, and they're trying to chase down Alabama, Notre Dame.
That's true.
Give me BYU in that one.
All right. Corey, thanks so much for coming in
been
today,
a pleasure.
man.
Yeah.
I have had a blast, man.
It's been a pleasure. Look forward to it. Hopefully getting on here again. We just need to get Andy and Jacob to call out a couple days. And, that's all we have to do.
It happens a little bit more often this time of year because Andy's commitment to,
Listen
to
Jacob,
wrestling.
Jacob having kids and all this stuff. Like, what are we doing, guys? Come on now.
I hear you. Hey, listen, I hope everyone out there has a great weekend. You've been listening to The Drive, and we will see everybody at 5 o'clock on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Oh, and only 2 shows or 3 shows next week.
That's right.
You guys are off Thursday and Friday next week of the holidays.
That is correct.
It's time for a Don Ledford of Cleveland traffic update on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Don Ledford Chevrolet Buick GMC, located on North Lee Highway in Cleveland. Or visit donledford.com for details. Don Ledford, where we say yes. It's on-time traffic with Commander Chuck.
Good evening. Traffic still heavy at times over here in the construction. 75 north and southbound around Bonnie Oaks, Shallowford Road area. Could be some radar there even over the weekend. 24 remains busy up by Market Street as was earlier, south of Chattanooga on 75 down through parts of Catoosa County, so be careful. Happy Hemp Pharmacy, they're now at their brand new location on Cummings Highway in Lookout Valley, right next to that Walmart. Stop by this weekend. Happy Hemp Pharmacy. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
We'll have a mix of sun and clouds with highs in the mid-70s with occasional showers here and there. Tonight, a cold front comes through, which could give us some storms, and some of those could be on the stronger side with gusty winds and will clear out by Saturday morning. For the latest, download the Local 3 weather app. I'm Storm Alert meteorologist Clay Smith.
Your current Milligan Vane temperature is 70 degrees. MilliganVane.com.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our Urgent Ortho Walk-In Clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
Cleveland, the all-new Select Flooring and Remodeling is now open at 5555 North Lee Highway. We carry the top flooring brands you know and trust: Mohawk, Shaw, Engineer Floors, and United Weavers. We also specialize in home remodeling and roofing, delivering quality you can count on. Take advantage of 24 months interest-free credit. Come see us Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and Saturday, 9 to 2. Call us today at 423-889-3007. That's Select Flooring and Remodeling, 5555 North Lee Highway, Cleveland. From the floors to the roof, we've got you covered.
Hey Cleveland, are you suffering from fatigue, low sex drive, or just not feeling like yourself? Optimize You is the answer that you have been looking for. Our team is here to listen and help you become the best version of yourself again. So find us online at OptimizeYouCenters.com. That's OptimizeYouCenters.com.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit BestBuyMetalRoofing.com.
what's in front of them.
I think what's cool when you look at it, and there's a bunch of historic statistics based on what can happen if they win and get to 9 wins. Obviously, we won 9 for the first time in 97 years in 2012. The cool part, though, is if they get to 9 here in the regular season, that'll be the first time they've done it since 1915, same team we were compared against. But I love the fact that that's kind of not the pinnacle anymore.
Right.
Like when we hit 9, it was unreal, right? I mean, like that had been done 97 years. Now it's like if they hit 9, it's like, cool. We got higher aspirations, right? This team, Clark Lee, has kind of reset expectations for Vanderbilt here with what Diego and this team have been able to do. And I think that's the cool part, that they expect to not just be on the outside looking at the playoff, they expect to find their way into the playoff and continue to compete year in and year out. So it's pretty cool to see just how the expectations have changed here in Nashville.
Yeah, I agree with you. And it's not only just how good Vandy's been, but they've also hit stretches where they haven't been that good this year. And so what do you do when all of a sudden Vanderbilt in the past, when those things would happen, they kind of crumble. And
it's spiral.
They spiral. They lose 2 or 3 straight. That has not happened. And I think it's due to the leadership in that locker room that they've been able to cultivate and grow within themselves. And then also, like, just as a team, they're better than they have been as rosters constructed. And so I think that is what has allowed Vanderbilt to be so successful is they got defensive line that are pesky. They got a really good, solid offensive line. The scheme works for them. But they got a tough Kentucky team.
I was going to say, you look at that schedule and you're like, oh, hey, look at Tennessee, right? You got a chance to get to 10 wins.
You better pay attention.
You better pay attention to this one.
Yes, because Kentucky is playing their best ball they played all year right now. And so I would say that Kentucky's a hotter team coming in. Yeah. They're playing more complete. Defensively, they kind of figured out some things. They're simplifying some things.
They know who they are on offense now with the way Cutter's playing.
There we go.
You've seen a little bit of Kentucky this year. What's going on with them?
I've seen a lot of Kentucky this year. Look, I think there was a schematic change that occurred right after or right around the Georgia game where they decided, look, we got to get the ball out of Cutter Boley's hands quickly and into our playmakers' hands. Guys like Kendrick Law, the transfer from Alabama, who is a dynamic player, and they're still able to run the football. Cutter's able to push the ball downfield. But look no further than the Florida game. Florida should have beat and could have beat, in a lot of ways, Georgia. They had many opportunities. They were leading in the fourth quarter against Ole Miss. It's still a really, really talented roster, and Kentucky wiped the floor with them. 38-7. 3 picks from DJ Lagway early and put his butt on the bench. I mean, it's a Kentucky team that's playing confident. It's playing well. They know who they are on both sides of the football. So this is a dangerous one for Vandy. I don't think they're going to overlook it at all. But Tennessee is next week, and there's all this talk about maybe the playoffs, and if there ever was a trap game, this is one you got to be careful.
Well, it's always hard when we talk about trap games for Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt used to be the team that was a trap game.
It's kind of a cool thing now that Vandy
totally
could be getting trapped.
Well, now Vandy, we're talking about them. Hey, you got to watch out. Because that has not been the
You got to not overlook someone.
Now you have to not overlook teams, and that's just a different position to be if you're Vanderbilt. And how do they handle that mentally? You know, is the crowd going to still show up in the same way? Are we going to even have to use the crowd? Or do we just say it doesn't matter who's there, it doesn't matter where this game is played, and I still keep the same type of edge to myself? I think that's what makes this game so interesting, and also the fact that Kentucky and Seth McGowan's run the ball extremely well, and they're finding ways to get Kendrick Law, their most explosive player, the football in different ways. They're throwing it to him quick. They're setting him up on one-on-one routes, getting him in position to make plays. I just like what Kentucky's doing offensively, and I haven't been able to say that in probably 2 years.
Let me flip gears to the CFP conversation, which has been talked about a little bit since Tuesday night. But Jordan, you are never going to be
short of words.
Man of the Year by this CFP committee. They have shown their irritation with you already by making it worse the second or third time they came on. So what did you see this week, and what outraged you?
It's absurd. It's absurd where they put Alabama. Like, on one hand, look, a great comparison. Why is Alabama ahead of a one-loss BYU team? Strength of schedule, right? Obvious. Alabama's played a lot tougher schedule. They have 4 ranked wins, blah, 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 say whatever you want. Then why is Notre Dame ahead of Alabama? Their strength of schedule is 29th. Alabama's is 4th. What are we doing? And what I hate is that they got on TV, Hunter Yurachek, and he said, look, you know, we just didn't like week 1 how Alabama really wasn't able to run the football against Florida State. Oh, we're still talking about that? We forgot that Notre Dame lost their first 2 games. Okay, I get it. They were good opponents. And they said, well, and they also couldn't run the ball against Oklahoma. They're not trying to run the football.
No.
So what about all those ranked wins? Oh, they didn't run the ball well in those games because they didn't need to. And, oh, by the way, also, Hunter, you're the AD at Arkansas. Arkansas is one of the best rushing teams in the SEC and in the country. You're 2-8. We should not be talking about styles of games right now when you have a plethora of evidence that is black and white on a piece of paper that tells you they've played better teams, they have better wins. Let's stop looking at the losses. Let's stop saying, oh, their run game needs to be better. They're blocking better. Turn the football off for a couple days. It'll sort itself out. We've got 2 more weeks. And then when we have a complete body of work, then we can start to dive into the eye test a little bit more. We're always way too early for the eye test.
I agree with you. And the same thing could be said was when they said early in the year, when they said Ohio State was better than Indiana. And they said, well, it was the O-line.
O-line's playing better.
The O-line's playing better. I'm like,
what D-line were they playing? What was the situation of the game? There's too many factors to do that.
If you're Hunter Yurachek, though, shouldn't you be trying to find a coach instead of wasting time with this committee?
Well, you know how we feel about committees around here, Paul. We don't like them. And the fact is, it's like when you can't tell us what the criteria is or the things that we will be grading you upon. And then when we get on TV, we talk about everything else.
Or you change it.
Or you
depending
change
on who
it.
you're talking about.
And the goalpost continues to move. And I think that's what frustrates everybody, especially us that actually watch all these teams and players. And we just want it to be fair so then we can get up here and talk this is why this team's ahead of this one.
I want to ask you this because this is something that I think about every time I hear the committee get up and they're talking about watching football and breaking down position groups and run games and schemes. How long does it take you to break down a game?
Usually about an hour, hour and a half.
Right.
Each game.
Each game. How many games you watching? Every SEC game at least, right?
Right.
We're talking, and then, oh, by the way, the College Football Committee's got all these other teams, 25 teams. They have full-time jobs. Our full-time job is to watch football. I barely have enough time in my week to watch every game I need to talk about on TV, let alone athletic directors and people with other jobs to think that they're watching all the games enough to be able to talk about. Again, it's okay. I don't need them if they're leaning on metrics and strength of schedule and things that are black and white. But if your main things pounding the table are going to be football, scheme, position groups, style of play, we barely have enough time to watch the film to talk about that educatedly.
That lets me know that they're taking the information from somebody else.
Yep.
Somebody that's watched like this 5 games. Oh,
so
they
now
said
a few people are impacting the whole committee.
Yes.
How long we got? We got an hour and a half to keep going on this. Like,
keep going. To me, the narrative will continue to shift. And they want to try and fit it into whatever they want to say to justify whatever teams. At this point, I'm cool with Notre Dame just getting the special treatment every single year because they're Notre Dame. At least tell everybody that. But the fact that they don't, and we just put them up there anyways, and then just like, no, it's fine. Like, they're playing hotter and they're playing better than everybody right now. I mean, just say what it is.
Yeah. Let's bring it home for Alabama fans because we were just talking about Notre Dame being ahead of Bama. What that has done is Alabama not just would love if Oregon lost, but even more importantly, because strength of schedule has been a little bit diminished and eye test has been more, what happens if Tennessee and Missouri aren't ranked at the end of the year? Those are 2 of Alabama's ranked wins. Now their strength of schedule looks even worse, and already the committee's telling us the eye test is better for some of these other teams. Like, that could be a problem.
The CFP just called and told us to wrap this conversation up. Guys, thank you very much. Jordan.
Alabama, just win your game and you're in.
And you'll be fine.
Okay. A quick break. Pete Thamel breaking down where Lane Kiffin will be going for the playoffs.
I can't wait.
That's going to take another hour or two.
The head coach at Vanderbilt will join us a little bit later, plus the chancellor here. We have a busy first hour. I love watching football on the ultimate fan-worthy TV from Samsung. It's super big and super clear, just like being there. Even with a 115-inch screen, the picture doesn't get blurry with supersized picture enhancer on 2025 Samsung TVs. Select Black Friday deals start now. Go big and save big on ultimate fan-worthy TVs at Samsung.com.
Sale dates vary by model. Supersized picture enhancer utilizes AI-based formulas available on 85-inch and larger TVs on models QN70F and above.
Things at Zaxby's just got sensational because now you can experience their signature Asian sensation flavor 3 different ways. Get that sweet, tangy, citrusy, zesty fusion of flavor rolled up in a giant wrap, drizzled on a salad with an egg roll, of course, or tossed on their famous chicken fingers. Hey, flavor this good deserves its own private menu, or should I say, Zenu. The Asian sensation lineup, available only at Zaxby's. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's. The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
We'll have a mix of sun and clouds with highs in the mid-70s with occasional showers here and there. Tonight, a cold front comes through, which could give us some storms, and some of those could be on the stronger side with gusty winds, and will clear out by Saturday morning. For the latest, download the Local 3 weather app. I'm Storm Alert meteorologist Clay Smith.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Did you twist an ankle? Hurt your shoulder? Or maybe that weekend project left you with more than sore muscles? Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics is here to help. Our urgent ortho walk-in clinic in Cleveland is open Monday through Saturday, treating sprains, strains, fractures, and more. No appointment needed. There's no need to drive to Chattanooga for expert orthopedic care. Call, schedule online, or walk in today and get back to moving pain-free. Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. The Center for expert care right when you need it.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
For all of your security needs, call the professional security experts at J. Price Elite Security. Armed or unarmed guards, retail surveillance, transport escorts, high-value transports, event security, and more. J. Price Elite Security is here for you. Call 423-595-9573.
Have you seen what happens when a weed eater gets too close to vinyl siding? Ouch! Choose steel siding from Best Buy Metals, available in board and batten and lap siding options. Permanent siding from Best Buy Metals is custom manufactured to the half-inch for a perfect fit. Stop by a showroom or go to bestbuymetalroof.com to learn how you can protect your structure.
Check out the fantastic savings this November at Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland, where it's Black Friday all month long. They have incredibly low rates, like 0% APR on the 2025 Pathfinder and Murano, or just 1.9% APR on 2026 Murano, plus $1,000 cash back on 2026 Kicks, or $5,000 cash back on 2025 Pathfinder and Murano. Want to trade in your old car? Nissan is giving up to $5,000 over book value when you trade, and they will buy your car even if you don't buy theirs. Shop in person on Exit 20 off of I-75, or visit Cleveland-Nissan.com. Payments are per month for 75 months. Does not include tax, tag, title, or dealer doc fee. Must finance through the dealer. Subject to credit approval and pick from new dealer stock.
Mix 104.1, ESPN Cleveland 101.3, and Oldies 99.1 are your homes for high school football. Cleveland Blue Raiders football on Mix 104.1. The Bradley Bears on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. And the Walker Valley Mustangs on Oldies 99.1. Plus, MixTV.tv offers video streaming as well as our games of the week. All of our high school football action is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Games on MixTV.tv are powered by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland.
Starting at 9 a.m. with Marty and McGee and SEC Nation. Then it's an SEC afternoon doubleheader, followed by SEC Saturday night under the lights. Later, break down the day's action with SEC football final postgame. All-day SEC football coverage begins Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on SEC Network and stream on the all-new ESPN app.
You're watching the Paul Fungom Show, presented by Johnsonville.
Come here. And we are back here at Vanderbilt. Great to see you on an overcast Friday afternoon. Kentucky in town, and we'll talk to the head coach in just a minute. Speaking of head coaches, about time to get some new information on Lane Kiffin as we say hello to Pete Thamel, of course, from ESPN. Pete, thank you for joining us. And I don't know if it's if there is an update, but there's certainly a lot of people asking the question, what is going on in the world of Lane Kiffin? Good afternoon.
Well, if you're looking for new information, Paul, I'm open for it if you have any. The Lane Kiffin watch continues. I don't foresee any imminent clarity on his decision making. I know that's probably comes a little surprise to anyone right now. It's one of the strangest and most surreal unfoldings I have seen in my career, and there's certainly an anxiety level at Ole Miss of what he's going to do, and that's obviously justified. They're having a generationally great season, and there's two other SEC, major SEC recent national championship winning programs also sitting and waiting, creating theater, Paul, that is good content for you.
Indeed, but Pete, in terms of what we think we know, and I think that's about the only way to put it, because everybody seems to think they know something, but whether Kiffin admits to having an ultimatum or not, there seems like at some point this has to end. What's your best guess?
Ultimatum was probably too strong of phrasing, but there's a clear desire from Ole Miss for clarity here to move on for the playoff, for signing day, for a potential coaching search to replace him for that. But it's also not great business if you're trying to recruit somebody to put a gun to their head, right? So I think that's a little bit of a balancing act here on how all this is unfolding. Lane Kiffin's clearly tortured by this. You know what I mean? That's the one thing that's obviously apparent. And as time goes on, I think it's becoming more obvious that Lane Kiffin isn't going to be able to do everything he wants here, which is both go to the playoff and explore those other high profile opportunities. That those two things don't appear to be feasible in concert. Whether it's an ultimatum or not, or however it's phrased, doing both those, appear to be difficult. And Ole Miss's only leverage, Paul, is the ability to coach out this season. So, it is a fascinating conundrum. You can see every side of it, and I don't think there's much clarity because I don't know if there really have been any decisions made.
If you're Florida or LSU, you've had some time here. Your sights are on Kiffin, but if you have to be prepared, that would include Ole Miss perhaps as well. What's your best guess on where all these other who's next if Lane Kiffin stays or leaves?
I would say that both Florida and LSU certainly have made it clear that they want Lane Kiffin. LSU, recent history would dictate is probably a better football job, but recent history would also dictate it's probably a little less stable, right? So, Florida's actions appear to indicate that, perhaps they're not, they're covering their bases, I guess might be the best way to put it in terms of talking to other folks. And LSU appears to be, waiting patiently for some white smoke to come from Oxford and a decision to be made. So, it's a fascinating triangle right now in the SEC.
And finally, Arkansas and Auburn have openings, and who knows who else. But as far as Auburn is concerned, everyone seems to think it's John Summerall. Are you hearing that?
Yeah, I think John Summerall's been a prime candidate and target from the start of that job. There's obviously complications with Tulane, being a potential playoff team, but it wouldn't be a surprise if that's where Auburn ends up.
And as far as I know, Hunter Yurchek's been busy double talking, what the college football playoff committee. But do you have it? I'm assuming Arkansas is looking for a coach. I don't know if you can confirm or deny that, Pete.
I can confirm that. I would think that one wraps up relatively soon. It appears they're in the final stages. The final stages there now. I wouldn't be surprised if we got some clarity on that one this weekend.
Okay. Well, I'll be waiting before Hunter takes off Hey, Pete, thanks. Great, always great to talk to you. Pete Thamel joining us from College Game Day.
Thanks for having me. Yep.
Believe they're in Oregon this week, and we'll take a short break. We're in Nashville, and we'll talk to the head football coach at Vanderbilt right after this.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
4? Man, my drives have been getting weaker and weaker. The same thing happened to me when I turned 40. Men over 40 lose more than just their golf game. Energy, strength, stamina, it all goes downhill. I got Nugenix Total T2 and started feeling like my old self in no time.
America's most trusted testosterone-boosting brand is back. Nugenix Total T2. Crafted with a unique new formula that combines the ultimate free and total testosterone booster with a powerful nitric oxide booster that works in just 3 hours. Feel like a new man, leaner, stronger, with more energy and drive. Get your complimentary bottle today by texting BICEP to 321-321 now.
All right, let's test this out. Wow, that's on the green, man. Looks like I got my drive back.
Text BICEP to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2. Text now and we'll even throw in a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see one or two of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into Sunday, cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Right now, someone in a Hardee's kitchen is about to warm up your winter with the new grilled cheese bacon burger. Charbroiled 100% Angus beef, bacon, and Swiss and American cheese melting on our soft, buttery sourdough. And our new grilled cheese breakfast sandwich with sausage or bacon and a fried egg. Cozy up to the goodness of the new grilled cheese bacon burger and breakfast sandwich. For a limited time, only at Hardee's. Cinnamon Raisin Biscuits are back. Unwrap them while you can. Only for a limited time at participating restaurants.
Cleveland Tire Center, locally owned and operated for over 45 years. Cleveland Tire, your one-stop auto care shop in Cleveland. North Lee Highway, where the name says it all.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Need cash? Check. Behind on bills? Check. Unexpected car repair, broken appliance, surprise vet bill? Check, check, and check. Time to check into Cash, your one-stop money shop. Check all the boxes, all in one place. From payday loans to flex lines of credit, we've got solutions that move with you. The process is simple, quick, and designed to get you the help you need fast. If you've been approved, you can leave with cash in hand. Check Into Cash also offers check cashing, money orders, wire transfers, and even gift card buyback. Check your worries at the door and check into a store to apply. We have stores in the Chattanooga area, including Cleveland and Athens. Or visit checkintocash.com to get started today. Check Into Cash. We fund today to make a better tomorrow. Subject to state regulations, eligibility, credit check, underwriting, and approval. Rates, restrictions, and fees apply. Visit a store for details.
Looking to take the next step? Cleveland State Community College is here to help you define your tomorrow. We've been voted the #1 college choice in your county, and it's easy to see why. Flexible classes that fit your schedule. Learn on campus, online, or both. It's your choice. Cleveland State gives you the freedom to learn when, where, and how you want. Apply now. Spring semester is just around the corner. To find out more, visit registration.clevelandstate.cc or call 423-473-2321. Define your tomorrow at Cleveland State.
Whirlpool Cleveland is currently hiring for entry-level production roles. Starting pay $18.25 per hour, jumps to $19.35 per hour after 90 days. Benefits start on day one, including medical, dental, vision, 401k, life insurance, and more. 120 total hours of paid time off. 10 hours the first 3 months. Remaining balance after 90 days. Apply at jobs.whirlpool.com. Jobs.whirlpool.com.
Okay, we can calm down just for a second, have a little toast, give thanks. I want to think of our neighbors, Jim and Kara, for a second. They've had a rough time. Fly-by-night contractor botched their roof. Jim has buckets catching the leaks under his porch and those gutters. Such great neighbors. We are so happy that we got the Langley roof this year. We'll be snuggled in nice for a few decades. When you see a good roof, chances are it's a Langley. LangleyRoofs.com.
And we are happy to be here. Kentucky coming to town. And it's time for the, I bet Coach didn't realize he's the Bring Your Flavor segment brought to you by Johnsonville.
I feel honored.
You should be. Coach Clarkley with in the midst of a memorable season, and I hope you and I know you'd like to make it a lot more memorable. Good afternoon.
Oh man, good to be with you. Appreciate you guys being here. And yeah, we've had a great run, but we're anxious to keep it going. So got a tough challenge tomorrow.
And I know everything that we talk about it's always there's a preface. Well, this hasn't happened before, but this is often a time when it's the other way around. But in terms of this moment, you have 2 regular season games. You know what you have to do. Does that make it easier in terms of just shutting out the noise about what everything is, what's at stake?
Yeah, it's funny. We talk a lot about our goals and, again, what is at stake and the control we have in that. We don't really spend a lot of time trying to predict or prognosticate what may or may not happen. We're not into like the numbers or the math. We're into winning. And, it's easy to say, hey, we got 2 game stretch run here at the finish. We know we need them both, but the only one that actually matters for us is tomorrow. And,
right.
And, we got a tough Kentucky team coming in that's on a hot streak that, what can you say about what Mark Stoops has done getting that team to build chemistry and gelling through the season? It's been so impressive. And so that's been enough to keep our focus where it needs to be. This is our last home game of the season. We got a chance to close out an undefeated season at home. That'd be the first time since 1982. Wow. And we got a bunch of seniors that have poured a lot into this that deserve to be sent out the right way. So we're honed in on that, and we're going to take it one climb at a time. And we understand our part in this, though, and that's we need to win.
On that subject, and I know as a former player you can relate to it better than maybe others, but it is a very poignant moment when somebody comes. You don't hear the word senior very often anymore, yeah. But it is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting just this day and age. I mean, we have seniors that have been here for 8 months. We have seniors that have been here for 2 years, and we have seniors that have been here for 5. And all of them have left imprint on this program. And so all of them deserve to be honored tomorrow. And I talked to the team. We're not going to honor them in how we result tomorrow. It's how we play. We need to play the game the right way. The game honors toughness. And they're excited to do that. And obviously with the Kentucky team we're playing, we're going to need to do that. This is a tough physical team. And like I said to you, I got a ton of respect for Mark. So a fun SEC game to close out a home schedule and a special season. We're excited to be out there.
I remember, I think it may have been right when not long after you got here, you were talking about we were trying to do this and that. And it's just amazing to see everything that has been done and is continuing to be done on this campus.
I think it's important for us in moments that we have to kind of push balls and step back and appreciate how far we've come. I know, we're into enjoying this moment because we've come a long way. And you've seen it. You've had a front row seat to it all. I mean, there were times 5 years ago where I didn't know if this were ever going to happen. You just got to keep stepping into belief day in, day out. You got to surround yourself with people that share in that belief. And this is still a human endeavor, as much as we want to make it about other things. It's about binding together with people that you care about, doing something challenging together. That's kind of defined our progress here, and I think really defines the moment we're in now.
Or should we have something on the screen about the foundation and the Vandy United? It's fairly extensive, but it's the kind of thing that just doesn't happen. And you mentioned it a minute ago because you have to do it, whatever the football cliche is, brick by brick or whatever it is. But at some points when things are bleak, and they've been bleak, what keeps you moving forward and having a modicum of positivity?
Yeah, I mean, there are moments, I think everyone experiences. I think this is relatable to everybody who's trying to do something big and faced with adversity and challenge. There are those moments where you are on the floor, literally. And
I'm not laughing at that.
yeah, well, no,
Maybe I
I'm
was.
sure you've been there too, Paul. You know, it's for all of us who have kind of high-reaching goals. And my positivity comes in a belief. It's a belief, again, in myself. And sometimes that's been shaken to the core. And those are moments where you're growing and changing. You know, I mean, this is also a story about being able to adjust and adapt and to pivot. You know, we've done that. But it's also about this shared experience. And something about the learning and the hard parts ultimately give way to the good parts. And the more you experience that, where you know, you're kind of you're on the floor 1 minute, and then the next minute you're dancing in the locker room. You realize that one begets the other, and so you get back on your feet, left foot, right foot, breathe, do the next right thing the right way. I mean, those are a lot of cliches too, you know, but that is what we live, and again, that's what's helped us get to this point.
Coach, I'm a sportscaster. We're pretty familiar with cliches. I mean, we wouldn't have a job without them.
Yeah.
So many other things going on here. Now, I think we're going to show something here in a minute. I want to get your thoughts on in terms of just exactly the Football Experience Center, which I know you played a big role in. What is it, and what does it mean?
Well, this is an operations facility for our team, you know, and we're 5 years into this thing, and you know, we've yet to really change the physical imprint of our day-to-day space, and so you know, we need to move with some urgency, and we're excited about this opportunity to actually have a first-in-class, best-in-class facility. You know, the building we're in right now was built in 1990, and it's the same building, same weight room that I trained in. Now, we love it because it's ours, but it's time for us to graduate from that and move forward. So this is, to me, the first of a few things that need to happen for us to get this program to a point of sustainability and to be able to reach for this type of success we want year in, year out. I'm grateful for this as a first step, and you know, I may sneak onto a bulldozer at some point and try to get started as fast as we can. I move at a coach's pace, you know, and that's part of it, but certainly a big announcement.
No doubt. Coach, before you go, I want to talk about you because I know it's a team sport and everything, but you're now, and this is a good thing to have, and I think I alluded to this maybe the last time we talked, you're now in that coaching carousel, whether you want to be or not. I'm sure there's some sense of gratitude that your program has moved to a point where you're being thrown in there. I used to be a sports writer, so we would sit around at night and say, okay, Auburn's got an opening, let's just throw some names in. I've never really known how legitimate these things are. Yeah. Maybe you do because you're in it. But just not so much yourself, but just address the fixation that the media and fans have with all this who's going where. Most of it involves Lane Kiffin, of course.
Certainly, yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it's what makes our game so special is so many people are invested in, they care so much about it, and you know, the head coaches become figureheads, and they become fun pieces to judge when it's not going well, and kind of crown when it is going well. I think I appreciate the interest and the intrigue. I think in general, I love being a part of something that will move people to a point of emotion that way. And, you know, the carousel is not something you buy a ticket to. So you're thrust on that thing whether you want to or not. But obviously when you're, and this has been said a million times, but when your program's having success, there's going to be interest taken in that. And so this has always been about, you know, building a championship program here, how you build something that's sustainable. I think we're in a great moment now. This moment, we need to leverage the momentum and take it somewhere where it can really be special. And that's where our focus has been.
And speaking of special, I'm assuming this will be the last home game for Diego Pavia tomorrow. I don't know. You're not really ever sure with him, are you?
No. There's a part of me that hopes, you know, but no. He needs to go play in the NFL. He's deserved the opportunity to do that. He's a great quarterback, and we're going to miss him like crazy. But there's so many guys that'll be out there with him tomorrow that'll be there last. Like I said earlier, all of whom left imprint on our program. And it's going to be emotional, man. It'll be emotional for me to be out there with them, and yet I'm going to try to soak up every second because as big as tomorrow is, there's so many memories and so many moments that are special and kind of are the foundation of where we are.
Always great to see you, Coach Clarkley. Really appreciate it. All the best tomorrow and the rest of the season.
Thanks, Paul. Appreciate you.
You bet. We'll take a short break. The Chancellor of the university will join us in a minute. We're live in Nashville. I love watching football on the ultimate fan-worthy TV from Samsung. It's super big and super clear, just like being there. Even with a 115-inch screen, the picture doesn't get blurry with supersized picture enhancer on 2025 Samsung TVs. Select Black Friday deals start now. Go big and save big on ultimate fan-worthy TVs at Samsung.com.
Sale dates vary by model. Supersized picture enhancer utilizes AI-based formulas available on 85-inch and larger TVs on models QN70F and above.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see 1 or 2 of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into Sunday, cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
All right, Mr. Gobbles, it's that time of year again. Got any last requests? What? You want a smoking hot deal on a new Kia? Mucho dinero for your trade and your credit pardon? Well, you're going to have to come to Kia Cleveland today. This is John Davis, the trade-in man at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway with great news for turkeys. Kia Cleveland will pay you up to $7,000 over Kelley Blue Book market value for your old turkey that you're driving. That's right, up to $7,000 for any trade in any condition, and we'll buy your car for cash, even if you don't buy a car from us. Got foul credit? Don't sweat it. Our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation. So quit your old car, cold turkey, and get up to $7,000 for any trade in any condition. Come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3. Negative trade equity finance with a new loan subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
Mix 104.1 is celebrating 25 years of being your home for the UT Vols. A quarter of a century of Go Vols. As part of our celebration, Mix 104.1 is giving you an opportunity to win tickets to every UT football game this season, home and away. We're giving away home game tickets on UT Ticket Tuesday, presented by TVFCU. Road game tickets will be given away each Monday before a road game, presented by USS. Vols 25 on Mix 104.1. For all the details, visit mymix1041.com.
Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a critical showdown in the NFC North.
Here's J.J. McCarthy. Throws for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Minnesota Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy leads the Minnesota Vikings into Lambeau Field to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Touchdown. Beautiful work. Jordan Love for the score.
Coverage begins Sunday at noon Eastern with kickoff at 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio. College Football Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Caught! Touchdown!
The Arkansas Razorbacks head to Austin to face Arch Manning and the 17th-ranked Texas Longhorns.
Touchdown! A 75-yard touchdown pass on a swing from Arch Manning. Texas!
Arkansas at 17th-ranked Texas. Coverage begins tomorrow at 3 Eastern with kickoff at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio and on ABC. Presented by Dr. Pepper.
Saturday, tune into SEC Network for a full day of SEC football coverage, starting at 9 a.m. with Marty and McGee and SEC Nation. Then, it's an SEC afternoon doubleheader, followed by SEC Saturday night under the lights. Later, break down the day's action with SEC football final postgame. All-day SEC football coverage begins Saturday at 9 a.m. Eastern on SEC Network and stream on the all-new ESPN app.
Introducing Verts. Swipe for news and highlights. Now available on the ESPN app.
That's enough. Yeah, I know I'll be alright tonight. If you roll me up we know how to party.
Welcome back to the Paul Feinbaum Show, presented by Johnsonville.
We're back in Nashville as we continue and wrap up the first hour. We had Coach Lee and now Daniel Diermeyer, the chancellor at Vanderbilt University. We had a chance to meet a couple of years ago, and I hope you folks know what a gem you have here as a chancellor. This sounds like what we do in the football world, Chancellor. The Board of Trust just extended your contract to 2035. That's confidence
we
these
call
days.
It a Nick Saban contract. That's the way the board referred to it. Yes, yeah.
Well, it is. I was just alluding to you off there. I was at an event a couple of months ago in Sea Island, Georgia. I was supposed to be the learned scholar speaking to a group of people from all walks of life. And I'm rambling about college athletics, and I look over there and I see you. I said, oh, my goodness. I said, there's actually somebody that understands it in this room. And I mean, you ruined my night, by the way. But it was fun. It was good.
It was fun, yeah.
Let's talk about just what has happened on this campus. This used to be somewhat of a doormat athletically, always excellent in academia, but everything is going well.
Yeah, we had some success, of course, in baseball, in golf, and a whole variety, and basketball a few years ago. But this is a different world for us. And it's fantastic to see what the football team is doing. I mean, it brings the whole campus together. There's excitement all across Vanderbilt, and of course, including the alumni community, the city. This is another sold-out game for us. So these are different times for us. It's wonderful to see that.
And I know it's almost cliche, Chancellor, to talk about the football part of it, but it does bring in and it does open doors that are normally not that easy to open. Would you talk a little bit about
I think that's 100% true. I mean, it brings the community together like very few other things. There's no doubt about that. And it engages people at a very direct, almost a visceral level. Right. That includes, both our alums, but the community, the city, and it just creates a humongous platform for us. So I think these are all good things. But I think there's something else also. It's like, I think athletics is a little bit life simplified. And it's hard to understand why is it that, this physicist gets a Nobel Prize for his work in quantum physics, but everybody can see when you're at the 2-yard line and you're 4th and 19 and you make a first down, that's pretty awesome. And so I think it's a way to look at excellence. It's a way to look at overcoming obstacles and the virtues and values that we cherish in day-to-day life. We see it on the field of play every Saturday.
And there, in the past, here and other places, there's been a bit of a tug-of-war between the academics and the athletics. And one thing we used to say, I'm talking about back in the day, that we keep Vanderbilt around in the SEC just to raise the academic standard, but that's not the case anymore. Yeah. And from your side of it, which is at the highest level, I mean, you're an internationally renowned political scientist. You've taught at some of the finest universities. In the world that you run, among academicians. Do you think the general group of them understand this importance when you're meeting with them on various topics around this country and the world?
Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think this is a completely false dichotomy, this kind of sense of tension. I think that when you get it right, actually these things reinforce each other. You have kind of a positive feedback loop. And we've always been strong academically. We've had the best year in our history. We are more and more becoming a destination for the best students. We now had 50,000 applicants for our undergraduates, with which like 1,700 slots. So, a little over 5%, roughly 5% admissions rate. So these are wonderful times for us on the academic side. And now we have the athletic side as well. And what the athletic side, I think, does for all of us is it makes people more aware of Vanderbilt. They see what we're all about. They see that this is a place where you can have a great, high-quality education, where you can be challenged academically, but you're also going to have fun and where you're going to be part of a great student community.
Let's talk about something that is about to happen, and I've seen this in various places, but Vanderbilt is about to expand its footprint in only New York City, not a small place. I'm particularly interested in the thought process and how this works.
Yes, so we just opened our campus in New York. We just got the permission to grant degrees literally a couple of weeks ago. To celebrate that, we have now an ad in New York on the airports, and we're going to launch it broader, which we call New York's SEC team. That's our new moniker in New York, kind of welcome to the neighborhood. And what we did there is we're doing this there. We're also doing we're working hard at West Palm Beach as another location for us, and we're also working at San Francisco. So we're looking at a whole bunch of different places, and New York was the first one that kind of came online, if you will. The way we're thinking about it is we believe that universities are best if they have a tight partnership and integration with the local community, particularly innovation system. And there's just things that New York has to offer, and South Florida has to offer, and San Francisco has to offer, that will allow us to do even greater things. More opportunities for our students, more partnerships for our faculty, more research opportunities. Where you are makes a difference. There's many wonderful things we can do in Nashville, but we believe we can do more.
So not to get too deep in the weeds, but I'm thinking about going back to school if I can join in New York. So you actually, is it the entire curriculum, and not the entire, but specific curriculum that will take place there?
Yeah, so the way it works in New York right now is like you have your first 3 years at Vanderbilt as an undergraduate, and then if you want to, you can, if you will, study away in New York. So we have a campus there in Chelsea, beautiful campus, looks like you take a piece of Vanderbilt and teleport it to Chelsea. Neo-Gothic, wonderful place, beautiful trees, garden. And then if you want to be there and you have an interest in an industry or an area where New York is particularly strong, maybe it's finance, maybe it's policy, maybe it's art, maybe it's media, you can spend a semester there, and then there's classes and curriculum structure around that. We're also going to have a master's program in business and innovation. So that's what we're doing in New York.
That is just really extraordinary. Just in your own world, I was asking you about teaching, and I know that's something that's always been near to you. Do you find your way back into the classroom every once in a while?
I can only guest lecture right now, so I'm traveling too much right now. But I love doing that, and I just did one on Russian literature on Monday, which was fantastic. Had a great time with the students. Love to spend time with the students, and so I'm being invited on different topics from time to time. This was particularly fun.
Russian literature?
Much literature, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, that was good.
What was?
And the students were fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you do that. I mean, how do you? I mean, you could go with your background in so many in myriad fields. You could probably be somewhere every week of the year. How do you determine? Okay, I'm going to go here, go there.
Well, we really is whatever. I ask myself where I want to allocate your time. One important part is it's excellence on campus, so that every year we're going to do better than we've done the year before, better for our students, better for our faculty, better for our alumni. Then we're doing these big strategic initiatives that we've talked about. And then the third thing is there's a lot of drama around higher education, so we want to play an important role on that. That's about being clear about the purpose and values of higher education. That spends a lot of time in Washington and on panels to talk about what universities should do and how they should make sure that they live up to their purpose and values.
And we don't have that much time, but I do want to hit on that, Chancellor, because there's when you introduce politics to higher education, sometimes they do clash, and
Yes.
there's a modicum of negativity. In terms of you're running one of the most respected campuses in the country, what would your message be to those who just want to broad brush where we are right here?
Yeah. So one of our board members had a little Venn diagram, intersecting circles, and they said, why is Vanderbilt on fire? And it was like one circle was excellence, academic excellence, one circle was free speech, and one circle was football. And we love that. But what we mean by that is everything starts out with being clear about what you're all about. What's your purpose? And many universities have drifted a little bit and too much into the politics game. We're very clear we're about path-breaking research and a transformative education. We're not a political party. We don't want to join a political movement. What we want to do is we want to be excellent in everything we do. So that means we want to beat Harvard Monday to Friday and Alabama on Saturday.
You've left me with so many unanswered questions because to be able to avoid the political climate is pretty crafty. And of course, I don't know if that's all of your background in politics, but in the final minute, why do you think so many make that mistake? Because it has been a bad mistake.
It's a very good question. I think often it comes like from kind of good motivation, and then there's just you're part of the political process like everywhere else. So there's often a lot of pressure on universities to take, let's say, political position on one side or the other. Right. And it's largely driven because people feel strongly about the university and they want it to match their own personal values. But then you have to have the fortitude and the clarity to say, we understand that, we know you feel strongly about it, we want to be a platform where ideas are discussed. So we don't want to settle debates, we want to encourage them, and that's what we're all about. So we have to resist the temptation to take sides on many of these political debates.
I'm just sorry this interview is ending. Chancellor Diermeier, it is always an incredible pleasure for me and for all of us to come here and see you. Thank you
Thank you very much. We're delighted to have you back on campus and come back soon.
I will.
Thank you.
Oh,
do you have three ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-471-9773. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-471-9773. 800-471-9773. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-471-9773 or biglou.com. That's 800-471-9773 or biglou.com.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland 101.3. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see 1 or 2 of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into Sunday, cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees. ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the General Manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Mix 104.1 and Honda of Cleveland are teaming up to give one deserving teacher in our local area the chance to win a 2025 Honda Civic LX. Nominate your favorite teacher at mymix1041.com or on the Mix 1041 app.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
Playoff continues with an SEC on ABC triple header.
Every week, the puzzle pieces begin to fall into place.
Catch critical matchups featuring top 25 teams Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, and Missouri, culminating in a primetime rivalry game under the lights in the swamp.
How about these triple headers on ABC?
SEC all day Saturday, beginning at noon Eastern, also streaming on the ESPN app.
Talk about stepping up. It's time to level up your game. Introducing the all-new ESPN app. All of ESPN, all in one place. Your home for the most live sports and the best championship moments.
The electricity is palpable.
Step up your game with no annual contract required. It's the ultimate fan experience. Level up for more on the ESPN app or at stream.espn.com. Sign up now.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a critical showdown in the NFC North.
Here's J.J. McCarthy. Throws for the end zone. It is caught. Touchdown, Minnesota Vikings.
J.J. McCarthy leads the Minnesota Vikings into Lambeau Field to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Touchdown. Beautiful work. Jordan Love for the score.
Coverage begins Sunday at noon Eastern with kickoff at 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Previously on Clinton and Friends.
The NFL has filed a grievance against the NFLPA seeking to stop the union's annual team report cards, claiming that the reports violate the CBA. Boo effing who? Come on. One of my favorite things about, if not my favorite thing about the NFL season, is when these report cards come out.
Clinton and Friends, weekdays from 10 to noon Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
This is ESPN Cleveland 101.3, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, and Mix 104.1 WCLE Calhoun Cleveland Athens.
I'm Ed Benkin. We start with college football news. Ole Miss says Coach Lane Kiffin will announce his decision about his future 8 days from now on November 29th. This will be after the team plays in the Egg Bowl. Meanwhile, according to ESPN's Pete Thamel, Missouri quarterback Bo Pribula is on track to return to play tomorrow against number 8 Oklahoma. The NCAA voted today that its athletes and athletic staff will not be allowed to bet on professional sports. Speaking of which, in NFL news, Pittsburgh quarterback Aaron Rodgers is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Bears. He is dealing with that slight fracture in his left wrist. The Bears will have a linebacker issue in that game. Tremaine Edmonds, T.J. Edwards, and Noah Sewell all ruled out for the game against the Steelers. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is also questionable for Sunday's game against the Patriots. Coach Mike Vrabel of New England says he's preparing for both Joes, Burrow and Flacco.
I mean, the stuff that they've always done and will do, is going to remain the same. I mean, Joe's probably or is more mobile than what Joe is. Both are going to run the same concepts and the same plays and look to try to get the ball in the same places. I would imagine that Joe being a little younger and going to be a little bit more mobile.
Burrow was limited in practice today after having 2 full days of practice the last 2 days. Giants quarterback Jackson Dart is out for Sunday's game in Detroit. He's still recovering from a concussion. Jameis Winston will once again start in his place. The Lions will likely be without tight end Sam Laporta for the remainder of the season. Coach Dan Campbell says there is only a slim chance he will return. WNBA coaching news from the NBA. New York Liberty have hired longtime Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco as their new head coach.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen. Coming up Monday, we look ahead to a huge Monday night game for both the 49ers and Panthers. Plus, Damian Woody joins us in studio at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. It's unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Campus to campus.
It ain't about how you look. It's about how you get sacked again.
Team to team.
There's 102,000. I cannot wait to see the environment today.
WSUM on the campus of the University of Wisconsin. Site of tomorrow's showdown between 21st ranked Illinois and Wisconsin. Amber and Ian present the College Football Campus Tour on ESPN Radio.
We are live from Madison, Wisconsin, here on the campus of the University of Wisconsin. Jonathan Zaslow,
hey,
Amber Wilson. These studios here at WSUM, they're not named after Evan Cohen yet?
No, they're not named after Evan Cohen. Excellent question, because you walk through the halls here at WSUM, Evan Cohen loves this place. We were here earlier today.
Yeah, hold on. Do they love him, or does he love this place?
Another great question. You're 2 for 2 to start the show here today. All right. Evan loves this place. We came in early. You just got in, all right? You came in hot from the airport.
I roll in hot.
You just got in here.
Flying straight in, put the microphone on, let's go.
I came in last night. I got here last night along with Evan Cohen and Michelle Smallman, who both did Unsportsmanlike from the ESPN Madison studios, all right? So we came in last night, and today we came by here at WSUM.
So these are the student studios here at the University of Wisconsin.
That's right. We came here and we spoke to all of them. They were super gracious. They liked us enough. They are feeding us tonight. There's pizza out there.
I know. It's good pizza. You know about that Wisconsin cheese, Jonathan Zaslow?
Yeah, they got the pizza with the meatballs and the pepperoni and some disgusting vegan kind of deal. I'm not having that. But otherwise,
I just ate the cheese off the top of the pizza. Mm-hmm. But here in Wisconsin, I feel like that's okay because they're all about cheese.
They've been very good to us here. And Evan Cohen, tell you, it's the best school. It's the best radio station. Last night we went to the best restaurant.
Oh, he said this is the best pizza.
Shout out Tornado Steakhouse.
It's the best everything, according to Evan Cohen. This is his life. Now, as I understand it, we are here at WSUM. He was the first voice ever on WSUM.
Oh, I didn't know that.
The day that it started here at WSUM, Evan Cohen, that was the voice.
That's a trivia question.
And look at him now. Is it a trivia question?
Well, yeah, I feel like if you're walking, we're on campus here. If you're outside, you see somebody on the other side of the road of the campus. Hey, it was a first voice at WSUM. Like, Evan Cohen.
You play some weird trivia games. Have you been to Madison, Wisconsin before? You were here last year,
we
right?
came here last year. You didn't come because you decided to get pregnant, whatever. You reap what you sow. I was here last year for, it was Wisconsin, I think, at Alabama. And, so I've been here before, but this trip this time around is a lot more extensive. Like, we really did a great tour of the school today. We got a tour of the stadium this afternoon.
I really missed out.
You did miss out.
I really missed out.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to Madison before. Now, because
my
sister went to law school here. Now, this was a long time ago. I was a kid when I came to Madison, and I visited her here. And I don't know how old I was. I was probably like 12, 13, something like that, right? And I'm flying in here today. So I haven't been here since then, 2 years ago when I was 13 years old. And I'm flying in here today, and I'm like, wait, there's a lake? Like a massive lake? I don't remember that. And then I'm looking down from the airplane at the city, and I'm like, wait, this is an actual city? I mean, it's the capital, and it's an actual city?
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I don't know what I was doing when I was a kid here, but I hardly remembered, apparently, anything about Madison, Wisconsin, other than the university started to look a little familiar to me.
No, this is a fun little campus. Not little, it's a fun campus.
No, I say it's not a little campus. There's nothing little about this.
Though it's cold, all right, it's in the 30s. But if I could also tell you, Amber, at 5 p.m. local time here, it's pitch black.
Yes.
It's like it's
in the north.
midnight.
That's how it works up north, Jonathan Zaslow.
Unbelievable.
You don't know about that down there in Cooper City, Miami, Florida. Now, you mentioned it's cold
By the way, this is Central Time Zone. You need me to explain time zones to you?
No, we're good. I do know how it works. They're in the future over there. I just flew from the future. I flew into the past. We're good.
No spoilers.
Now, you said it's cold outside, which, I mean, it's cold. It's not crazy. Is that why you have the beanie on inside?
Yeah. This is my Madison look.
We're inside now. I'm pretty sure
I'm staying consistent.
70 about
This is my Madison look.
Okay.
All right. I wear a Scully.
Which is a Florida Panthers beanie for everybody.
Yeah, I call it a Scully. Yeah. This is my look here this weekend. Yeah.
Be a part of Amber and Ian Nation on the Dr. Pepper call-in line. Call us. 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. ESPN Nation is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It ain't college football season without the delicious taste of an ice cold Dr. Pepper. College football, it is a pepper thing.
Where will Lane Kiffin end up next?
One win put you out of the top 10. Now 2 wins might put you out of the top 25. And 3 might get you fired.
Here is the very latest Lane Kiffin alert.
And Getting into a postseason apparently means that you are the darling of college football and everybody wants you. That's what's been happening here with Lane Kiffin. So much so, Zaslow, that we have that fancy new imaging right there to enter this segment. Because
it's the biggest story in college football right now.
There's been so much in terms of the rumor mill. So his family, they visit Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Zaslow.
Yeah.
There's planes in Baton Rouge. Apparently his ex-wife and his kid are in Baton Rouge. But don't worry. They're also in Gainesville.
Nice.
And apparently his son, he's touring high schools in Gainesville. There was a plane, Zaslow. There was a plane today that was being tracked that left Baton Rouge, flew to Oxford, Mississippi, and then was allegedly flying to Gainesville, Florida. And here's what I started thinking. This whole Lane Kiffin watch is so nuts that if I was rich and bored and having a private jet, I would just totally bleep with people at this point because everybody's watching every flight tracker, and I would just totally mess with people. I'd just be flying back and forth. Then I'd just go over to, Penn State, take a gander up to College Station. Let's do it.
That's what you're doing if you have the money?
Yes,
I mean, I got a few other things on my list that I'm doing with the money before I'm just flying around randomly to trick people. That's interesting.
Private jet, it's probably nice to fly around.
That's interesting that's what you would do. That's not how I would spend my day.
I would spend my day on a G5 if I could. We got a statement, though, from Keith Carter. He is the vice chancellor of athletics there at Ole Miss. He is the AD.
Before you read that statement from the vice chancellor, which came out just a few hours ago, what did I tell you earlier today? I sent out a message, and I said, I think today
we're going to get something.
I think today might be Lane Kiffin Day.
Yeah, you said it might be Lane Kiffin Day. We declared it a holiday, I believe, on the text thread.
And then
our producer Stosh was upset. He didn't bring cake for Lane Kiffin Day. He wasn't prepared.
I told you, I think today might be Lane Kiffin Day. And then we get this statement here from the vice chancellor.
And here's the statement from Keith Carter. Coach Kiffin and I have had many pointed and positive conversations regarding his future at Ole Miss. Blah, blah. While we discuss next steps, we know we can't lose sight of what is most important, our 6th-ranked team that is poised to finish the regular season in historic fashion. Despite the outside noise, Coach Kiffin is focused on preparing for the Egg Bowl. And together, we want to ensure that he can concentrate fully on Friday's game. Blah, blah, blah. An announcement on Coach Kiffin's future is expected the Saturday following the game.
Yeah, so the Egg Bowl... Ole Miss not playing this weekend. The Egg Bowl is a week from tonight.
Right, rivalry weekend.
Yeah, and it feels like Lane's not, to me, that he's not going to get to the game next week.
Well, so that's interesting you say that because that statement quite literally just told you the opposite, which is why I think that they had to release the statement because the noise is so loud and because there are verified reports now. Apparently, Scott Strickland did actually meet with Lane Kiffin's people. That's the athletic director at the University of Florida at an undisclosed location. So they have been meeting. There's also some reports that maybe LSU brass has met with Lane Kiffin. So obviously, he's really considering those two schools. It seems like he's leaving Ole Miss. He hasn't signed an extension with them at this point. He would have signed an extension at this point. He's had about 1 billion opportunities to nip this thing in the bud and to shoot down all the rumors, and he hasn't bothered at any point. He's posting the motivational quotes all the time, which is obviously just trolling all the fan bases. Lane Kiffin clearly loves this and loves the attention, and heck, maybe he should. There's probably never another point in his entire life where he's going to be wanted in this way ever again, right? No matter what happens here, the way that he's wanted right now in this unusual cycle.
Well, do you say that because the team that he would leave for is not a job you leave?
Right. Well, typically, although we've seen big names leave those jobs, but typically, well, Urban Meyer left Florida to go to Ohio State.
No, but he didn't leave Florida to then directly go to Ohio State.
Yeah, okay,
All right.
Blah, blah. So you can tell I'm a little bitter about it as a Gators fan. Regardless, and, yes, those are big-time programs, but actually my point also was you don't normally have this kind of coaching cycle where these major jobs are open and there's multiple of them open. So him being wanted by these major programs, I mean, you're just not normally in a position where, LSU, Florida, Penn State, Auburn, where it's all available. And so I don't know if that's ever going to occur for him again, even if he was wanted in the future.
I don't believe that he makes it to next week. I don't know.
Despite this statement.
Yeah.
Because this makes it very clear he's coaching in the Egg Bowl. But the conversation...
It makes it clear they want him to coach in the Egg Bowl.
Right.
All right. I don't know what's going to happen between now and Friday next week.
You don't?
Like what if... Well, I will tell you.
I was counting on you to know what's going to happen.
I will tell you, Amber, I'm very well sourced in this spot.
Oh.
I came out earlier today and I said I think today's Lane Kiffin Day, and then you got this statement from the Vice Chancellor.
Yeah, but the statement is just we're going to have a statement.
But why did the statement come out today?
The statement is,
it didn't come out tomorrow.
The statement is quite literally we're going to have a statement, and another week tune back in.
Things are happening.
It was a tease.
Right
it was a tease
now.
statement. That's not Lane Kiffin Day. Lane Kiffin Day is decision day.
Well, no, you're right. You're right about that. But the noise is getting so loud that the Vice Chancellor had to come out today.
We have to release a statement. Zaslow's out here saying things.
And I'll tell you, Amber, I have other sources, too.
I
do.
Oh.
I'm well sourced.
You're in the know.
I don't know if you know that.
I don't know that.
Don't ask me to give up my source because I would never do that.
Right.
I would sit in a jail cell
before
I gave you my source. Everybody knows. I would go to prison to protect my sources.
That's not even a little bit true.
I will tell. I do terrible in prison.
You would
I do
spoil
so
so
bad.
fast.
I do so
You would
bad.
reveal all your sources.
But nonetheless, I have an inkling as to where Lane Kiffin is going.
Oh.
I do.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to stick with Jonathan Zaslow, the journalist, right here on ESPN Radio.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio. It's a critical showdown in NFC North. J.J. McCarthy leads the Minnesota Vikings into Lambeau Field to face Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers.
Beautiful work. Jordan Love for the score.
Coverage begins Sunday at noon Eastern with kickoff at 1 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Feeling stuck on your own 10-yard line in the career game? Maybe it's time to just go for IT. My Computer Career has the game plan to score a rewarding new IT career in months. Whether you're a rookie, a breakout career changer, or a military veteran ready to serve. Why spend years chasing a college degree when you can fast-track your future in IT starting now? Take your mark, get set, go for IT. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Michelle's Moment here for Gainbridge and their Give Back program, Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity. Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity's goal is to empower girls and women through sports and education, providing 32 organizations in 21 states $222 of grant funding during 2025. These grants aim to level the playing field and expand access to sports and education for girls and women across the country. Here's to a future with no limits for women's sports with Gainbridge and Gainbridge Assist, powered by Parity.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland, 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see one or two of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into Sunday, cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Mix 1041 is celebrating 25 years of being your home for the UT Vols. A quarter of a century of Go Vols. As part of our celebration, our family of stations are giving you an opportunity to win tickets to every UT football game this season, home and away. We're giving away home game tickets on UT Ticket Tuesday, presented by TVFCU. Road game tickets will be given away each Monday before a road game, presented by USS. For all the details on Vols 25, visit ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
It's It's football time in Tennessee, and Mix 1041 is your home for Volunteers football.
Blitz coming. Touchdown!
Mike Keith calls all the action of every Vols game right here on Mix 1041 and online at mymix1041.com and on the Mix app. Don't miss a minute of Tennessee Vols football.
Oh, my goodness!
Every play of every game on Mix 1041. Vols football is presented by TVFCU.
From the job site to the showroom, Wholesale Supply has the top brands you trust at the prices that work for your bottom line. With over 30 locations across the Southeast and over 75 years of service, no one supports our contractors and communities like we do. Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver.
It is our favorite thing to pay. That's the limited lifetime tire guarantee, and it is only available to you at Midas.
Where will Lane Kiffin end up next?
One win put you out of the top 10. Now 2 wins might put you out of the top 25, and 3 might get you fired.
Here is the very latest Lane Kiffin alert.
So that is the question that is rocking the world of college football right now. Where is Lane Kiffin going to be coaching next season? Meanwhile, Ole Miss is still trying to make a postseason this season. And Jonathan Zaslow, he thinks he's in the know.
I do think I'm in the know. I have sources.
He has sources. Now, my sources tell us that we got a statement from the athletic director today, and the athletic director of Ole Miss said we're going to get a Lane Kiffin announcement the Saturday following the Egg Bowl, which is next Saturday. But you think, not this coming, the following Saturday. Like, it's
I don't think he's going to get there.
When you say next Saturday sometimes. You don't think it's getting there.
I don't think he's going to get there.
And you think that you know.
I don't think he's going to get there. And also, the opening sentence of this statement from the vice chancellor, Coach Kiffin and I had many pointed and positive conversations regarding his future at Ole Miss.
Yeah, but that's the chancellor there covering his butt, because there's been a lot of pressure on Ole Miss where people are saying, why isn't Ole Miss forcing Lane to make a decision? So I feel like there you're hearing from a chancellor who's saying, I have had these pointed conversations with Lane Kiffin. I'm not taking it easy on him.
Is there any part of you that believes that Lane Kiffin is staying? It's quite obvious at this point that he is not staying.
The answer to that question 3-4 weeks ago was yes. The answer to that question now is no. And I thought originally, hey, Lane Kiffin has it pretty good at Ole Miss. Listen, I'm a diehard Gator fan. I obviously want him at UF. But even surveying the landscape, I thought he has it pretty good at Ole Miss. We know what happened at USC. We know what happened at Tennessee. It's been a long journey for him on the come up again. And he has it, he has NIL money there. He can get paid, that sort of stuff. Now, are we talking the same figures as LSU and UF? Probably not. But he still has it pretty good. He says money doesn't control his decisions. Yada, yada, blah, blah, blah. Seems to like Oxford, Mississippi. His family lives there. Kids are in school there, all that stuff. So I thought, all right, I could see a world where he's just flirting with all this stuff and he stays. And if that was true, I don't think it would have gone this far.
Yeah, he's definitely
we've had no indication. And I don't. Otherwise, he's the biggest troll on planet Earth.
No,
why would you do that to your own fan
Why would you do that to you? Forget your fan base. Why would you do that to your own players?
Right. Then you're just a jerk. At
They're
this
competing
point,
for a national championship right now.
If Lane Kiffin stays, you're a jerk.
Yeah, why would he do it to his own players?
He's got to leave.
Yeah. No, he's leaving. All right. From what I understand.
Ooh, okay. Everybody calm down. Jonathan Zaslow has sources. This is what you say right now might carry weight. You're very famous. Your Twitter account just got hacked.
Yeah, that only happens when you're famous, if your Twitter account gets hacked. By the way, if people see me on Twitter, okay, because I've been getting messages
You're big
from
into
friends.
Bitcoin, I hear.
Yeah, I'm giving out
for the Bitcoin
I'm
advice.
a big-time crypto bro now, apparently on Twitter.
Did you know you just bought a Mercedes SUV?
Yeah.
It's
I'm doing well in the crypto
killer
space.
Car.
I'm doing really well.
Sexy, that G-Wagon.
Don't interact with that Twitter account, all right? I'm gonna find that person.
Yes, like Liam Neeson.
Yes,
I will find you.
Yes, and I will kill you.
I have a set of special skills.
That's right. I don't even care that it's going over the air. All right, come at me. Everybody knows it's capital punishment for somebody who hacks into your Twitter.
Not even a little bit true.
Nonetheless, from what I understand, he has agreements. With both LSU.
That's ridiculous.
And Florida.
That's not true.
No, but what that means is. Okay, so money's good here. Money's good here.
Jimmy Sexton
now I just have to decide which
negotiates
one.
everything.
Yeah. That's what that means. It's not, hey, I'm going to be your coach. Hey, I'm also going to be your coach. No. That's not what I'm saying here. It's that he's happy with that. He's happy with that.
So that's what you're reporting? Is that Lane Kiffin
It's coming down to family?
Hold on.
No, I got more for you.
No, hold on. Just to be clear, you're reporting that Lane Kiffin is choosing between LSU and Florida.
I'm reporting that he has an agreement with both schools.
Right, okay. You're reporting that he's talked money with LSU and Florida.
Nope. And the exclamation points here. And Amber.
That's been all over my timeline for the last week.
See, I wouldn't know because my Twitter was hacked. But you and I, for the last couple weeks, have been way in on this situation.
We have. I'm deep into weird blogs and corners of the internet.
You're on the black internet over these
dark web, whatever it's called. It's dicey down there.
We want him to go to Florida. It'd be great for the school football-wise. It'd be great for the school attention-wise. It'd be so much fun. And both of us have really thought, especially over the last week, that he's going to be the next head coach at the University of Florida. And I can tell you here, from what I understand, it's going to be LSU.
No.
Yeah.
Zaslow, no.
Yeah. I was surprised.
I'm shocked.
Family likes LSU better.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, apparently the family did visit both. And listen, Baton Rouge and Gainesville, we've been to both. They're very different.
Gainesville's so much better.
Gainesville's so much
better.
Florida, UF is so much prettier.
But it doesn't matter what I think.
But I'm very biased. But also it's true. Nevertheless, all right. Now, his ex-wife did reportedly also visit Gainesville. Knox, his son, who's in high school, apparently did visit high schools in Gainesville. There's a lot to this. I think he also has a daughter in Ole Miss. I mean, that's really why I thought that maybe he wouldn't leave.
Family's into LSU.
Peter Burns, ESPN's radio host, and of course you can catch him on the SEC Network. He was on a little show called Amber and Ian. Excellent show, by the way. I should be on it more often. He said that he actually thinks Kiffin's staying.
If he goes to Florida and LSU, as much as he probably wanted to do those jobs, he finds himself looking at we just had 19 different documentaries how Lane's a changed man, and yet you do this? How changed are you? So that's part of it. And frankly, I don't know if Lane knows, guys. I think he's always wanted to coach LSU. I think Jimmy Sexton probably wants him to coach LSU. I think Helly would have been the head coach at Florida last year had Florida not beaten LSU. When Florida beat LSU last year, DJ Lagway started playing well. All of a sudden, they got this momentum, and they ran the rest of the season. That's the most ironic part about this is that Florida may end up finishing third in this race, but they had the first rights to them had they fired Billy Napier last year when LSU wasn't in the mix and Ole Miss wasn't on the cusp of a playoff berth.
Oh, God, this whole Lane Kiffin situation. So Peter just said he's always wanted to coach LSU. That's not at all what I've always heard about Lane Kiffin. He's always wanted to coach Florida. His wife, his ex-wife, who's kind of his wife, all right, I'm not reporting that, but come on, we all know.
Listen
we're all
to this.
The tea leaves. They're clearly back together, even though I don't think they've ever officially confirmed it. But his ex-wife is the daughter of John Reeves, who was a quarterback for the University of Florida. So she's born and raised in Tampa because she's the daughter of John Reeves, big-time connections, big-time Gator family. And so reportedly, he has always wanted to coach the University of Florida.
Loves Spurrier.
And then Steve Spurrier is apparently his idol. That's always been his coaching out. So that is what I've always heard. Now, Peter Burns, who is very LSU biased
with LSU.
in the same way that I'm Florida biased, Peter Burns is telling you he's always wanted to coach LSU. And this is the dance that we're all doing.
I'm telling you, Amber, up until today, I would have swore to you, now just on hunch, not anything I heard, I would have swore to you he's going to be the next coach at the University of Florida. That is not what I heard today.
Really?
That's not what I heard today. I mean, look, I opened the day telling you I think today could be Lane Kiffin Day, so clearly I'm hearing things. And
do you know how many bad things I'll wish on him if he chooses LSU?
Amber, I think he's going to be the next LSU head coach.
Oh, goodness. I hope you're wrong because
so
you're not actually a journalist. So I'm still believing that there is some real journalism out there that's going to tell me
I'm a major
he is
journalist.
The head coach of the Florida Gators next.
There's Dick Schaap, Bob Lee, Jonathan Zaslow.
We're going to wait to see. Apparently, maybe until next Saturday is when we're going to get an actual answer, I guess, from Lane Kiffin. I think either way, he's gone. I also think that there's a conversation, and we'll have it later in the show because we can't spend the entire show on Lane Kiffin. But should he coach in the postseason? I think Ole Miss is making a mistake having him make this announcement and not coach in the postseason.
Pretty unprecedented scenario.
Which is where they're going, it's clearly going towards. Coming up next, we're going to get to college football on the field. We'll help you make that money, honey, right here on ESPN Radio.
Coming up in the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Chris Canty, Michelle Smallman, and me, Evan Cohen, we look ahead to a huge Monday Night Football game for both the 49ers and Panthers, plus Damian Woody joins us in studio at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Are you ready to unleash the beast? Monster Energy is here to give you the edge this college tailgate season. Loaded with bold flavors, our powerful blend gives you the energy you need to push you beyond your limits. Tune in all season long with Monster, the energy drink of ESPN Radio College Football Tour. Power your performance with a drink that's as hungry for victory as you are. Crack open an ice-cold Monster and dominate your competition. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast. Grab yours today.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo
Touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Your new home for 24-hour sports coverage. ESPN Cleveland 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see 1 or 2 of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into Sunday, cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Your game week begins here with the players, the coaches, the experts. Big Orange talk and nothing but. This is Mike Keith, ready with your pregame scouting report from the people in the know. We break down every aspect, so you're ready for kickoff. Your pregame meeting happens here. Grab a chair, and let's talk some Big Orange football.
Listen to the Mike Keith Show, Thursdays at 3 p.m. on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
College football is back, and ESPN Cleveland 1013 is your home for Georgia Bulldogs football.
Georgia on the mountaintop, and the drought is over.
We'll have every play of every game. Plus, you can listen online via the ESPN Cleveland 1013 app. Georgia is trying to get back to the college football playoff title game, and ESPN Cleveland 1013 has every game of the season. Georgia Bulldogs football is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group.
From the job site to the showroom, Wholesale Supply has the top brands you trust at the prices that work for your bottom line. With over 30 locations across the Southeast and over 75 years of service, no one supports contractors and communities like we do. Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver.
The Patriots, he was limited today after 2 days of full practice. Steelers quarterback Aaron Rodgers is also listed questionable for Sunday's game against the Bears. He continues to deal with that slight fracture in his left wrist. The Giants' Jackson Dart is out for Sunday's game in Detroit. He is still recovering from a concussion. Jameis Winston will again start in his place. Meanwhile, the Lions will likely be without tight end Sam Laporta for the remainder of the season. Coach Dan Campbell said there was only a slim chance he will return after undergoing back surgery. College basketball today, a couple of ranked teams going at it. A number 9 BYU took down 23rd ranked Wisconsin.
Dibansa on a back down from the high post left side. Gets to the middle of the alley, out to Richie. Deep three. Oh, my goodness! Richie Saunders! 4-3. He's got 23, and that was way outside the NBA three-point line. BYU by 22 now.
That call from the BYU Sports Network as the Cougars win impressively 98-70. WNBA, the New York Liberty have hired a new head coach, selecting longtime Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco. NBA tonight, one game underway. The Pacers and Cavaliers tied at 24. Indiana just 2-13 on the season.
Michelle Smallman, and coming up Monday, the 49ers and Panthers are both fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC. I'll tell you why both these teams have so much riding on this matchup. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
This is why you came here. The whole nation will be watching. Oh, my!
WSUM on the campus of the University of Wisconsin. Site of tomorrow's showdown between 21st ranked Illinois and Wisconsin. Amber and Ian present the College Football Campus Tour on ESPN Radio.
We are live here from the University of Wisconsin. Amber Wilson, Jonathan Zaslow. You can find him at Zaslow Show when his account is not hacked. What's your handle on Instagram's different?
Zaslow J.
Okay, there you go. That one's not hacked, at least not yet. At Amber W Sports is how you find me. Tune into a college football doubleheader tomorrow as Texas hosts Arkansas, followed by Tennessee at Florida. Presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage begins at 3 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
And the reason I wasn't able to have the same name on Instagram when I started an Instagram account, someone was squatting on my name,
which is hilarious. Whatever happened to the now? That was like a long time ago, because I remember this was when we had a local show together in Miami. That this person is squatting on your
I wasn't
name.
going to give them any money. Are you crazy?
Did they ask you for money?
No, I didn't even try to do it. I would assume that they would want money. What else do they want? A handshake?
Are they still squatting on your name?
I don't know. I haven't checked. But, like, they were squatting on my name. Like, all right, I guess I can't use it.
I mean, is it? Yeah, I guess nobody else would have the name Zaslow and need the
No, Zaslow Show. Yeah, right.
All right, well, it didn't work out for them. But your account is hacked, so it's working out for the Bitcoin people there on Twitter. It was also working out for you last night. You got to go to a nice steak dinner with Evan Cohen and Michelle Smallman. Now, the reason I bring this up, we're here at the University of Wisconsin. This is Evan Cohen's stomping grounds. This is the place that made him. And he will tell you everything in Madison, Wisconsin is the best. Everything's the best. This is reportedly the best steakhouse in the world.
It's the best steakhouse. Everybody says so.
I missed out.
And we had a great meal. We were with a bunch of folks and a lot of hobnobbing, some nice drinks.
We're doing a corporate thing, shaking hands, kissing babies.
Yeah. And, it's great steakhouse. So I meant to tell you this. I ordered myself a filet mignon.
Oh, no.
Yes. I ordered filet mignon last night. It is the first time that I've had it in a long time because the last time that I had it was last year on our tour. I was out to dinner with you at a nice place.
So it's been a full year since you've had a filet because
That's right. Because Amber shamed me that a filet, it's not a masculine cut of steak.
I emasculated him over his steak order.
She emasculated me.
We're at a dinner together, and the waiter comes over, and, we're at a team dinner, I think after one of the shows, and the waiter comes over. We were in Texas, by the way, also.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's an important part of the story.
Yeah, we were in Dallas, that's right.
Because we're in Texas, right? Like Texas, I feel like Texas steak, And so we're in Texas, and we're at a real Texas steakhouse. And the waiter comes over, and Zaslow goes, I'll have the petite filet.
I did not say I'll have the petite filet.
I'll have the petite filet. And I believe you might have even ordered a smaller than me. Yeah, like smaller one that, I'll have the 7-ounce petite filet, please, with a nice
that's not true. You're exaggerating.
On the side. And
she starts laughing when the waiter walks. What are you laughing at? What's going on over there? Chuckles. And she tells me, that's a really feminine steak that you just ordered there. I'm like, what? I've never heard that before.
Not the most manly cut of steak.
And then the next day, by the way, we asked people. I remember we asked Coach Rick Neuheisel.
Schlereth. I remember Mark Schlereth. He shamed you.
And we also, Bobby Carpenter shamed me as well.
You.
And so I have not ordered filet in a very long time. Well, last night, all right, and I'm there, I'm sitting with Evan Cohen and Michelle Smallman.
Okay, hold on. So Evan's here, okay?
Oh, he's another one.
Not Mark Schlereth, not Bobby Carpenter, right? Not even me to shave you. Now it's Evan Cohen, who doesn't even eat steak.
Evan Cohen, who does not eat steak, all right?
So you felt like, all right, I'm already in, I'm in my comfort zone.
This is a safe space right here, all right? And I got Michelle next to me. It's my first time meeting her. She seems nice enough. I don't think she's going to tell me that I'm ordering a feminine steak.
Not yet. That comes like 10 years down the road.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to get the steak. I'm going to get the filet. That's right. I'm going to get the filet, and I did that because you weren't there to taunt me. That's right.
I was not there to taunt you. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Take the next step forward in your career with great benefits and an award-winning workplace. Apply at careers.progressive.com. We were just talking about the Lane Kiffin sweepstake, and then I immediately opened Twitter, something Jonathan Zaslow cannot do because his account's hacked and he's locked out. And the first tweet I see on my timeline is a tweet about how the University of Florida has canceled a volleyball game next Saturday, the Saturday after the Egg Bowl.
What does that mean?
And does that mean that they need a venue available because the volleyball team plays in the O-Dome, which is the arena there where the basketball team plays as well?
Would they
need
really
a venue?
cancel another sports game?
I mean, the reason but why would they? There's no other venues anywhere. We couldn't do it in the football season. I have no idea. I would love to think that that has something to do with something, but I feel like that's where we're at in terms of the lunacy with the sweepstakes. Now, the reason for canceling the volleyball tournament officially is that they want the team to be able to focus on SEC tournament play. This was a game against University of North Florida.
Nah, you're reaching now. You're reaching,
baby.
You're reaching, and all of those, Gator fans and college football fans who are, on the dark web and their message boards.
Oh, it's so good. Well, here's what I love about all of it, because it reminds me of when college football, or really when all sports are the greatest, right? And you and I have experienced this year after year with the Miami Heat. You and I are diehard Miami Heat fans. We are on the flagship station for the Miami Heat for many, many years locally in Miami, and you were on the broadcast. And with the Heat, we would always do this, or like on the watch of, is Kevin Durant going to come to the Heat, or is LeBron coming back, or whatever, and obviously the original LeBron watch and all of that. And then remember with the Dolphins, there was that whole Peyton Manning watch for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And people were tracking planes during that whole thing. And in college football, we get this every so often, the flight trackers and where is this coach going? And I don't feel like we got that when Nick Saban left Alabama. I don't remember
when he left Alabama.
Yeah, when Nick Saban left, which I feel like is the most recent, huge, should have been huge opening where we're all tracking flights and stuff. I feel like it was just kind of like everyone, it was Kalen DeBoer, and then he just got hired, and then we all kept it moving.
Oh, you mean why wasn't Alabama fighting over who was going to be the next coach?
I just don't feel like there was much fodder leading up to it in terms of everybody losing their minds about who was going to be the next head coach. I feel like it's been a while since I can remember this, where we're all tracking flights and we're getting crazy and we're reading tea leaves and everyone's coming up with nonsense. Remember when LeBron was coming to Miami, the person who had it first was a cupcake shop owner, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They actually are the ones who ended up breaking the story because they got an order in or something, right, of Miami Heat, whatever it was. Or was that when he was going back to Cleveland?
No, it was when he was going back to Cleveland.
That's what it was. It was when he was going back to Cleveland, and an Akron, Ohio cupcake shop broke the news because they got an order in from LeBron's team, which obviously would not exist if he was not announcing that he was going back to Cleveland.
Also, his car's being transported from his Miami home was a bit of an ominous sign.
I remember that stupid.
As well.
And then also his wife, remember, on Twitter, quite literally posted a picture of Akron on a map. She posted a star over Akron, Ohio, and we're all like, what does it mean?
But to bring it back full circle.
I bet they were going back to Akron, man. What do you mean?
To bring it back full circle, I think the point is this coach we're talking about right now is the highest profile coach in the sport right now.
Should he be? Should he be?
Well, I guess the answer to that would be no, because he's never actually won anything.
Right. And so I wonder, are we fighting? Are we all fighting? I'll say we because I'm going to get it. Are we all fighting over this coach that hasn't actually proven anything other than I can get Ole Miss to maybe a postseason?
That's a pretty big deal. You take Ole Miss to a spot where they're going to be a college football playoff team, and they are, in essence, then a national championship contender. And you also got to remember, this is a coach who he started coaching. What was he? He was the head coach for the Raiders, I think, at 32 years old.
Right.
All right. And that was a long time ago. So you got a hell of a lot of coaching experience here with this guy.
But that
and
didn't
he's still
end well.
young.
The Raiders didn't end well. Tennessee didn't end well. USC didn't end well.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of not ending well. And then he goes to FAU, and everything's
and it was fine, and now
he loves Florida.
And now it's going to end
the
super
state
poor
of Florida.
in Oxford.
So I don't agree with that. People are saying that, right? I've heard people say, do you actually want to be the coach who's remembered for leaving a national championship contender? And were we under the impression that Ole Miss is the destination job for most coaches?
Well, okay, so that's interesting that you say that, because yes, when they signed Lane Kiffin,
it wasn't even a 12-team playoff.
When you sign Lane Kiffin, you know you're not a destination school,
right?
And this is who you married, and the guy that you married is now behaving in the exact same way that you should have known he's going to eventually behave,
right?
But I think
they don't change, ladies. They don't change.
But I think the part that is going to make the Ole Miss fan nutty is that I don't think he's going to get to the Egg Bowl. But even if he gets to the Egg Bowl next week, he's not going to get to the college football playoff.
That, to me, is bat bleak.
And that's what's going to make everyone very angry.
But that's not Lane Kiffin's fault. I feel like at this point, that's no, it's not. It's Ole Miss's fault. Because why can't they let him coach in the postseason? If you're Ole Miss, and you know when we hired this guy, we're probably not the destination. Then if you're Ole Miss and Florida, LSU, they're not playing the transfer portal game. They have crazy money, all that sort of stuff. So maybe he's going to leave for one of these jobs. But we're right now in a position to still compete in a postseason.
I mean, Amber,
why are we going to shoot our program in the foot when this situation may not come up again for us for years?
Everything you're saying makes sense.
Why not just let him coach it out?
Everything you're saying makes sense.
It always does. You act surprised.
That's not true. If Trinidad Chambliss, who has done a terrific job at Ole Miss, and by all accounts is super happy there, if Trinidad Chambliss came out
come to Florida, baby.
And said, I'm transferring. I'm transferring next year to
that's
Florida.
What's going to happen.
But I do want to, but I'd still like to finish out. I'm transferring. I'm gone. I've already agreed. I'm going to that school. But I'd still like to finish out the season. Do you think the head coach signed him?
Okay, but the players and the coaches aren't playing by the same rules. We can't compare that. With Trinidad Chambliss,
but it's about someone who already is out the door. Do you want them continuing to lead your team?
Yes, if I'm in a position to win a national championship and I haven't been there since
You're being logical. You're taking the emotion out of it because you don't have any emotional ties to Ole Miss.
No, I don't.
And everyone who's involved in decision-making there in Oxford is emotionally tied to it.
I just think it's so silly. And so silly not to let those guys who went there for Lane Kiffin and are being coached by Lane Kiffin to continue to ride it out with Lane Kiffin in a postseason. I do not understand that. Coming up next year, we've got to stop talking about Lane. I mean, come on. It's enough already, Zaslow. Shador Sanders. He's going to make his first NFL start on Sunday. Are the expectations to him fair? We'll take it to the NFL right here on ESPN Radio.
Celebrating 30 years of the NBA on ESPN Radio.
1 second left. The Cavs are down 2. Will they be down 0-2? Williams holds. Looks to pass. Gets it to James. Here's a 3 for the win. Oh! It is good!
And we're just getting started. The NBA is on ESPN Radio.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see 1 or 2 of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
You're listening to Amber and Ian on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Game night is coming up. The ESPN Cleveland 1013 lineup is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group, wholesalesupply.us. Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Listen to the Alon Exchange, hosted by financial professionals Jay and Brittany Hagee, owners of Alon Planning Partners. Each week they discuss all things financial and answer your questions about investing, preparing for retirement, paying down debt, and more. The Alon Exchange, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on ESPN Cleveland 1013.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 has scored its very own app.
It shoots and scores.
With the ESPN app, you can listen live from anywhere. You'll get the links for the very latest sports news and information. Somebody made a huge trade? You'll know about it. Access to the latest scores and standings? You'll have it. Go to ESPNCleveland1013.com and download the brand new ESPN Cleveland 1013 app today at ESPNCleveland1013.com.
From the job site to the showroom, Wholesale Supply has the top brands you trust at the prices that work for your bottom line. With over 30 locations across the Southeast and over 75 years of service, no one supports contractors and communities like we do. Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver.
Wild Blackhawks at 8:30 Eastern, Wednesday on ESPN Plus and the ESPN app.
Shedeur Sanders will be getting his first career start this weekend when the Browns take on the Raiders.
Obviously, having been around him over the months, you get a good sense of the things that he's fit his eyes, so to speak. So definitely want to lean into those type of things, and he's working very hard.
I'm just excited for everything. I feel like I'm the guy. I know I'm the guy, but, you just have to be able to see. The game got to speak.
My expectations are he'll play well. It may not be perfect, but I think we're going to see a much better performance than what we saw the other day.
There's really only one way to go from what we saw the other day, but Shedeur Sanders, he's now getting an opportunity to prepare to start against the Raiders. He's going against a team that's much more beatable than arguably the Baltimore team that he was thrust into to face. Zaslow, Shedeur Sanders' Baltimore numbers, 4 for 16, passing for 47 yards. He had an interception. He had a fumble. He had 2 sacks. His passer rating was 13.5. It was not pretty. But what was interesting coming off of that game wasn't that it wasn't pretty for him. I felt like what was interesting was the narrative seemed to be blaming Stefanski. Like, Shedeur, I think, is at a place.
Blaming Stefanski because he hadn't had any first-team reps since training camp.
Right. So you never were giving your backup first-team reps, which there's conflicting information about how unusual that is.
The starting quarterback is a rookie. He needs all the reps.
But that's true, and that's the counter argument, except for your backup's also a rookie, so he needs some reps. And not that you need to overdo it, but maybe some reps at times in case you found yourself in a situation where Dillon Gabriel goes out with an injury. So Stefanski didn't do that. A lot of people came to the defense of Shedeur, essentially saying, well, that's the first time. I mean, that's the first time your line's hearing your cadence, the first time that you're throwing to those receivers since training camp. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's the reason for the numbers. So now he's in a position where he's actually getting an opportunity to prepare with the first team. And this is it. This is kind of...
Okay, but that right there's crazy what you just said.
This is put up or shut up.
And the way that you said it. Like, this is it.
This is it.
He's a 5th-round pick in his rookie year.
Yeah.
He's getting his first career start. This is it.
This is it.
This is it.
Well, because here's the problem. You don't know when the opportunities are going to come again when you are a 5th-round pick and it's your rookie season. You just don't know. When you're a top 5 pick, you're going to get those opportunities over and over again. Even if you lose your job, even if you and I obviously were down with the Miami Dolphins for many years. So Tua comes in as a top 5 pick. He gets benched for Fitzpatrick. Then he's starting. Then he's benched. Then he's starting. Then he's benched. But Tua also, that entire time, knew there would be another day where he would start again, right? There would be another time he would get another shot in the NFL. If you're a 5th-round pick, there's no guarantee of that ever. So the small snippets of opportunity you get, unfortunately, this is it.
So it's not that this is it, meaning you have to show everybody you can play. It's this is it if you want to have any chance of taking the job from Dillon Gabriel.
Right.
That's what it means.
Right, because I just don't know when you're going to get those opportunities again.
Right.
And it seems like maybe...
At least this year.
At least this season, it seems like maybe the coaching staff doesn't love you or believe, or certainly they seem to be investing far more heavily into Dillon Gabriel, trying to set him up for success.
You know the part that's made me nutty is the whole Kevin Stefanski wants Shedeur Sanders to fail. Kevin Stefanski...
That doesn't make any sense.
Why would he...
A coach who could arguably be on a hot seat. Why would he want anybody to fail on his team?
And you're desperately looking for a franchise quarterback. why would he not want Shedeur Sanders to play well?
Right.
I don't get it.
No,
and there were people who went on television and said that. Like, I don't understand.
No, that's
why
crazy talk.
Why would a head coach in the NFL not want to have a quarterback?
It's crazy talk. It makes no sense. Even if he wasn't your guy, even if you didn't want to draft him, it's not like you guys wasted some high-end draft capital on him. You took a 5th-round pick flyer on the guy, right? Like, who cares? So there's no situation where Stefanski had some sort of conflict in the front office with the front office, and he's like, no, this wasn't my guy. You know, I wanted to draft him, and I wanted to draft Justin Herbert, and we drafted Tua instead. It wasn't like that. We're talking about Shedeur falling into their lap, and sure, maybe that wasn't Stefanski's goal, wasn't to go into the draft and get Shedeur Sanders. Maybe he doesn't really believe in him.
Well, we also remember the
ultimately.
body language is horrible from them on draft day when they selected him.
Right, and that's fine. Maybe he wasn't his pick, but that doesn't mean that if he finds out he has a diamond in the rough in practice, that he's not going to want him to go out there and do well, because then he'll look like a genius.
Now, I do think, so it's nutty to expect, all right, this is it. This is your chance. It's your opportunity. 5th-round pick in his rookie year. All right, got to show me something. What are you talking about? Like, 5th-round pick. Like, it's going to take time. He's not going to be good right out the gate.
He's not going to get that time, though, unfortunately.
Does he have to be better than Dylan Gabriel was in his first start? Now, granted, Gabriel was a 3rd-round pick, but that difference there is negligible. 3rd-round pick, 5th-round pick, whatever. Dylan Gabriel, in his first start, 19 for 33, 190 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. So he had a performance, and whatever you think Dylan Gabriel's been this year, Dylan Gabriel in his first career start had a performance which was decent.
Yeah.
Like a serviceable guy. So does Shedeur Sanders then at least have to come out and look serviceable? Because what we saw last week, granted, no first-team reps, was not a serviceable quarterback.
I think so. I think you have to look like you can develop in this league. That's what you have to look like. Like
Dylan Gabriel has
like
looked
you
like
have the promise. You don't have to look all world. You don't have to look like you're there yet, but you have to look like you have some competency where you have the promise. And he didn't look like that against Baltimore. Again, impossible circumstances, fine. But now you're not up against impossible circumstances. Now you have an opportunity. So, yes, I think the answer to your question is he's got to look serviceable.
Well,
now,
that's what I think the bar is this weekend.
People will throw out, like, Eli Manning. You know, he was 4th for 18 in his 4th career start, 27 yards, 2 interceptions, right? And yet Eli Manning goes on, of course, to have multiple Super Bowls, Hall of Fame career, right? Tom Brady apparently texts Shedeur Sanders. Apparently he's close to Shedeur Sanders because Tom Brady texts him to remind him, like, bro, I was a 5th-round pick, and, you know, I'm the greatest to ever play the game sort of thing. And that's fine. And so we can go back in history, and we can look at either the guys who were drafted higher, who started off poorly and ended up being still all-timers, or go on to have unbelievable careers. And we can look at the guys who were drafted where nobody would have expected anything, and they turned into something. Fine, those stories are out there. Either way, you have to have the opportunities. And I guess that's my point, is I just don't know when Shedeur is getting the opportunities. And like Tom Brady continues to tell him, you have to make the most of those opportunities. You can help make someone's holiday magic by participating in the ESPN Radio Toy Drive and make a toy donation for Toys for Tots. Go to ESPNradio.com, YouGiveGoods.com to donate now.
You see Joe Burrow might make his debut this weekend?
I did see that he may be coming back, which I don't quite understand, because apparently next week was the original target date for Joe Burrow. And as I understand it, they're not going to have Jamar Chase this weekend. And I get that he apparently looks good and healthy coming back from that turf toe injury, but do you want to put him out there when he doesn't have his full slate of weapons?
I don't even think that's the conversation. It's they're 3-7.
Well, that too.
Like, you're 3-7.
Like, are you rushing back the quarterback? Your franchise quarterback?
I mean, best case scenario, like, they'd have to win every game remaining to make the postseason. They're not going to win every game remaining.
I mean,
that's the case.
Joe Burrow could, but that defense can't.
Yeah, that's the part. It's not that, you got offensive line that's hurt. You're not going to have Jamar Chase because he's serving the suspension because he did something really disgusting. It's that they're 3-7, and it seems like Burrow is rushing to get back.
Yeah, spitting is so disgusting, by the way. Yeah, because Flacco hasn't been terrible for that team, and yet they've still been losing because that defense is terrible. And I don't know. I'm not even sure Joe Burrow is overcoming that. We're presented to you by Progressive Insurance. Coming up next, so much to dissect from the latest college football rankings. We'll dig into that right here on ESPN Radio, and you can check us out on the ESPN app.
Coming up on the Monday edition of Unsportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and me, Michelle Smallman. The 49ers and Panthers are both fighting for a playoff spot in the NFC. I'll tell you why both these teams have so much riding on this matchup. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
With Progressive Customer Service, there are lots of ways to connect with us, so you never have to miss a second of your favorite sport. Because you'd much rather watch a ball go through a net 124 times in 48 minutes when you don't really have to pay attention until the last two, and then somehow those 2 minutes will take an hour. You don't want to miss all that. Luckily, you can chat with Progressive on our app, online, or over the phone without missing a single one of those times the ball goes through the metal circle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This college football moment is brought to you by ServPro.
College football teams have moments they recover from and made it like it never even happened. Like on September 24, 2016, when Tulsa found themselves down 31-0 to Fresno State with 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Tulsa fought back to tie the game at 41. And then won 48-41 in double overtime.
ServPro, like it never even happened.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 1013. Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Mix 1041 is celebrating 25 years of being your home for the UT Vols. A quarter of a century of Go Vols. As part of our celebration, Mix 1041 is giving you an opportunity to win tickets to every UT football game this season, home and away. We're giving away home game tickets on UT Ticket Tuesday, presented by TVFCU. Road game tickets will be given away each Monday before a road game, presented by USS. Vols 25 on Mix 1041. For all the details, visit mymix1041.com.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Did you know that Tennessee does not yet have a specialty license plate for childhood cancer awareness? You can help us change that. We need 1,000 Tennesseans to pre-order the Childhood Cancer Awareness license plate. My name is Caroline, and I'm a childhood cancer survivor. I can tell you it would mean a lot to all the kids currently battling to see these gold ribbon tags on cars all over our state. Please help us increase awareness for childhood cancer by reserving your license tag today at childhoodcancertntag.com.
From the job site to the showroom, Wholesale Supply has the top brands you trust at the prices that work for your bottom line. With over 30 locations across the Southeast and over 75 years of service, no one supports our contractors and communities like we do. Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver.
From the Kia of Cleveland Studios, this is ESPN Cleveland 1013, WCLE HD2 Cleveland, W267BI Cleveland, ESPN Cleveland 1013.
The top of the hour is presented by Best Buy Metals, making the top of your house the best it can be. Visit bestbuymetalroofing.com.
Play against number 8 Oklahoma. As far as the Sooners, ESPN's Molly McGrath says they know what's at stake on Saturday.
Quarterback John Mateer told us, we know what happens if we lose again. We are fighting to survive. And Venables kind of got this motto from, surprise, surprise, one of his favorite movies, The Gladiator. He's been showing clips of The Gladiator to his team.
Meanwhile, the NCAA voted today that its athletes and athletic staff will not be allowed to bet on professional sports. NBA tonight, several games have moved into the second quarter, including the Cavaliers and the Pacers, with Cleveland up 44-43. Celtics and Nets tied at 22. The Raptors trying to go to 11-5 against the woeful Wizards, leading 19-13. Washington 1-13 on the season. NFL news, Pittsburgh quarterback Aaron Rodgers is listed as questionable for Sunday's game against the Bears. He has a slight fracture in his left wrist. Meanwhile, the Bears will be without linebackers Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, and Noah Sewell. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is also questionable for Sunday's game against the Patriots. He is still looking to return after getting 2 full days of practice. He was limited today. Giants quarterback Jackson Dart is out for Sunday's game in Detroit. He's still recovering from a concussion. Jameis Winston will again start in his place. Earlier tonight in college basketball, number 9 BYU blew out number 23 Wisconsin 98-70.
Hey, this is Rich Eisen. Coming up on Monday's show, we break down all the biggest storylines coming out of the NFL Week 12 Sunday. Preview what's at stake between the Niners and Panthers on Monday Night Football. And get you set for your Thanksgiving week in general. That's the Rich Eisen Show on Disney+, the ESPN app, and ESPN Radio.
Campus to campus.
It ain't about how you look. It's about how you hit. Sucked again.
Team to team.
There's 102,000. I cannot wait to see the environment today.
Look at the horns. Touchdown, Ohio State. One play at a time.
WSUM on the campus of the University of Wisconsin. Site of tomorrow's showdown between 21st ranked Illinois and Wisconsin. Amber and Ian present the College Football Campus Tour on ESPN Radio.
If you want to weigh in on any news and anything from the College Football Campus Tour, just hit us up on the Dr. Pepper call-in line, 888-SAY-ESPN, 888-729-3776. Amber Wilson, Jonathan Zaslow hanging out with you. You were here last season. They, of course, have one of the best traditions here at the University of Wisconsin. Badgers football, it's got one of the best traditions in all of sports with the jump around. Were you scared for your life?
Okay, so in all seriousness, it's at some point in the third quarter. I forget when. But at Camp Randall Stadium, the entire stadium, but certainly the student section leads the charge, and they play House of Pain's Jump Around. Mm-hmm. And it's a really cool scene. I was told before the game by Evan Cohen that I'm watching the game in the press box, and he said, if you're watching the game in the press box, during Jump Around, the press box is going to shake. That's how into it the crowd gets. I'm watching the game in the press box, so I'm ready for it. The press box shakes when they're doing Jump Around. And if Evan had not warned me of that, I would have been nervous.
Is this so one of the last times I remember when the Orange Bowl was in Miami before it got torn down, I remember being in the Orange Bowl, and that stadium, it felt like it was swaying beneath my feet. I was pretty sure we were going to crumble, and it was all going down. Is it like that?
Yeah, I was in the press box.
Because that was a terrible stadium.
Yeah.
That stadium probably was going to crumble.
This stadium certainly looks a heck of a lot more sturdy than the Orange Bowl did, all right? But in the press box, and you're all the way up top, and it's shaking, and I would have been nervous if I was not prepared for, oh, no, that's okay. That's a normal thing. It's all right.
Well, of course, you were prepared by the Evan Cohen, who is a legend around here, I guess, at the University of Wisconsin, because this is, of course, where he went to school. This is his stomping grounds. We're here at the student radio station. This is where he cut his teeth.
I like this radio station.
He knows it all to this place.
They got CDs outside there. You see all that? They got CDs.
I saw that. Now, I don't think that they know what those are, but you and I know what those are.
I love
They
CDs.
think those are just decorations that you put on the wall. You and I actually used to listen to those things. They also have Tupac and Snoop Dogg in the hall. I was so happy about that because,
Is that from one of the award shows? Snoop is all dressed up. He's like
I think that was
suit.
when it was two America's Most Wanted.
Okay.
In the same, place at the same.
For people who don't understand,
time.
Amber loves
Die-hard Tupac. Like Tupac through and through and through. I know every word of every song on All Eyes on Me. Disc 1 and 2, Jonathan Zaslow. We used to do multiple discs back in the day when we had CDs.
You know about that Machiavelli?
I know about that Machiavelli. I was very surprised that these kids have a picture of Tupac up there, that they even know who that Tupac is.
No, they've been good to us here.
I was tickled by that.
At this radio station, WSUM here in Madison. And tomorrow, of course, we have College Football Campus Tour, 10 a.m. It's 9 a.m. here, all right? So don't...
That is how time zones work.
I don't have to explain to you. You understand?
I'm good.
All right, so 10 a.m. Eastern Time, College Football Campus Tour, as we're going to be outside Camp Randall in the Airstream, in the Old Girl. And, we're going to
doing our thing when it's 32 degrees
it's
outside.
It's going to be a little bit cold. That's right.
I think it's going to be 30 degrees outside.
It's going to be a little bit cold.
We are, of course, in an open-air mobile radio studio. So we're going to be living it up tomorrow. We're going to be wide awake early. Amber and Ian presents College Football Campus Tour, presented to you by Progressive Insurance. Amber Wilson, Jonathan Zaslow here. Let's go ahead and pivot to the college football playoffs, because we got the rankings, of course, again on Tuesday. And there wasn't a ton of controversy here at the top, Zaslow. I think there was some question about what was going to happen in the top 5, but really Texas Tech, Georgia moving up to 4 and 5 was really what everybody expected.
There's one story with the college football playoff rankings, and Notre Dame is at the center of it.
Right. And
that's what it's about.
And that's really what it comes down to, because...
And you know that, and they love it, right? Like, not Notre Dame. The committee loves this, right?
Yes.
Because it's a TV show. And so now every week on this TV show, every Tuesday night, there is this major storyline that everyone now is interested in.
Yeah, so Texas Tech rounds out the top 5. Then you get Ole Miss, Oregon, Oklahoma, 6, 7, 8. You kind of knew that those teams would be there in some sort of order.
And by the way, 5, 6, 7, 8 is super important because those teams host a first-round playoff game.
Right. Then at number 9, you get the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, which shocked the world. Alabama is sitting behind them at number 10.
That I don't get.
Those are 2 8-2 teams, by the way. BYU, which is only a 1-loss team, is sitting there at 11. The Utah Utes sitting there at 8-2 at 12. And then Miami on the outside looking in, sitting at 8-2 as well, at number 13. And that is where the controversy lies, because Miami beat Notre Dame. And this committee seems to not give a darn about wins and only about losses. Hunter Yurachek, he is now the College Football Playoff Committee chairman. He was asked, how close are Miami and Notre Dame?
I think when you look, Reese, at Notre Dame and Miami, we really compare the losses of those two teams. Miami has lost to 2 unranked teams. Notre Dame has lost to 2 teams that are ranked in our top 13. And so we really haven't compared those two teams. They haven't been in similar comparative pools to date. But Miami is creeping up into that range where they will be compared to Notre Dame if something happens above them.
Okay, so 2 things here. The first part, that Miami is not close enough to Notre Dame for them to compare them head-to-head, because head-to-head we know that Miami beat them. 13 and number 9, that's not close enough to start talking about, hey, this team, that team?
Well, no, I actually believe them there, but also I think it's why they have Notre Dame at number 9. I think the committee quite literally put Alabama, BYU, and Utah in between Notre Dame and Miami to avoid this situation. I think they're overrating Notre Dame, underrating Miami, and making sure that Alabama specifically is there as an important buffer so they don't have to deal with the head-to-head, because the head-to-head is going to throw all of this into mayhem.
Well, so that brings us to the next part then, because the committee chair is telling us that if Miami continues to creep closer, meaning if they win their final 2 games, if Miami does creep closer to Notre Dame, is he telling us then that, okay, when that happens, we're going to look at them head-to-head? Obviously, Miami has the advantage here, which then brings me to the next part here, Amber. Follow along. Is Notre Dame going to freak out when they keep winning, they've done nothing wrong, and then all of a sudden they're getting jumped by a team that is 4 spots behind them?
Well, here's the problem, though. Alabama, BYU, and Utah. And again, this goes back to what I just said that the committee did. What's Alabama doing where they're going to get out of that 10th spot? So you think Miami's going to creep closer? How's Miami going to creep closer? What's Alabama doing in this situation?
Alabama,
they're
BYU, or Utah to lose.
Are they going to beat Auburn and jump Notre Dame because they beat Auburn? Are we considering Auburn that big of a win? What, as Alabama gets into an SEC championship, does that mean that they jump Notre Dame?
Or Alabama loses to Auburn and then they drop behind.
Well, that's
probably
fine.
not going to happen.
Right, that's probably not going to happen. Oh, that's fine. Obviously, in that scenario. But I'm saying if we are assuming that these teams win out, then where is the scenario where those teams get close enough?
I don't know.
It's BYU all of a sudden going to move when they're sitting there at 9-1, but the strength of schedule is a problem for BYU. What about Utah? I don't even understand why Utah here is in the top 12, but the committee keeps moving them up. They like the Utah Utes. So I think that this buffer exists, and although you're hearing the committee chair
So you think it's a concerted effort by the committee to have a buffer? I don't think you're necessarily wrong.
Yeah.
But to be clear, you think there is a concerted effort by the committee to keep Notre Dame and Miami far apart enough that they don't have to use the head-to-head?
Yeah.
I don't think you're wrong.
Yeah. Committee Dame. Note your committee.
I think
it's not working, huh?
I don't think it's going to catch on.
I got to work on that.
I would drop that if I were you.
The fix is in for Notre Dame is my point. I feel like the committee's put themselves in a position where they just love that brand. And it feels like to me, if you just put Miami on paper and Notre Dame on paper and you took the logos off each team and you switched them and you put those two teams in front of the committee, all of a sudden, opposite world that we're living in.
Here's also the part that's going to hurt Miami as well. Right now, if BYU wins their final two games, they're at Cincinnati this weekend and they host UCF. You have Texas Tech versus BYU in the Big 12 championship game.
Yeah.
And let's say Texas Tech wins. Unless they're changing their line of thinking, the committee's not punishing you for a conference championship loss.
BYU's not falling out. So that's not helpful to Miami at all. There's obviously still a lot of moving parts here that can happen. We do have rivalry weekend coming up. But right now, the committee has put itself in a position where it's trying to avoid the problem that it very much has, the very real problem that Miami beat Notre Dame. And it feels like the committee isn't actually valuing wins very much and is incredibly...
No, the committee cares more when it comes to Notre Dame Miami. The committee cares more about who you lost to than who you beat.
Right. Notre Dame losing to Miami is apparently more valuable than Miami beating Notre Dame.
That's crazy.
ESPN Radio, I agree. Crazy talk. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Keep your career moving forward with growth opportunities, great pay and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces. Go to careers.progressive.com and apply today. Coming up next here on College Football Campus Tour, at least one person thinks Alabama should be at the top 4 if they win out. We continue with college football playoff talk right here on ESPN Radio.
Football Sunday on ESPN Radio.
Takes a snap, leaps forward, reaches the ball out. He's in. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars head to Glendale to face Jacoby Brissett and the Arizona Cardinals. Coverage begins Sunday at 4 Eastern on ESPN Radio.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments, including pills, chews, and more, 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form, and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, HIMS.com/JOY.
The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 1013. From the Alon Planning Partners Weather Center, here's your forecast on ESPN Cleveland 1013. Visit them online at alonplanning.com or give them a call at 423-315-1441.
Look for scattered rain showers along with a few thunderstorms this evening. We'll get a break late tonight into the overnight, but then between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. on Saturday morning, we're going to have some storms that develop to our west. We may see one or two of those approaching the Tennessee Valley with severe levels, so we'll keep a close eye on that for Saturday morning. Saturday afternoon, no problem. 76, mostly cloudy, and a slight chance of an afternoon sprinkle. Heading into Sunday, cooler, 50 in the morning, 69 in the afternoon. Download the Local 3 weather app, free for iPhone and Android. I'm Chief Meteorologist David Carnes for the Local 3 Storm Alert Team.
Take ESPN Cleveland 1013 with you wherever you go. Listen online at ESPNCleveland1013.com. Presented by Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. ESPN Cleveland 1013 is powered by Duracell.
Hey, this is Alfonso, the general manager of Crown Cleveland, your local home for Jeep and Ram. I'm here to announce that we have revamped our express lane. We are fully staffed and ready to take care of all your quick lube and oil needs. Please Google Crown Cleveland and see our great service specials.
Don't miss the Paul Feinbaum Show, weekday afternoons from 2 until 5 on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Always topical, always entertaining. Paul Feinbaum on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Hardees.
Welcome to Mountain View Nissan Country, where automotive excellence is our top priority. At Mountain View Nissan, we take pride in offering you the finest selection of vehicles.
Mix 104.1, ESPN Cleveland 101.3, and Oldies 99.1 are your homes for high school football. Cleveland Blue Raiders football on Mix 104.1, the Bradley Bears on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, and the Walker Valley Mustangs on Oldies 99.1. Plus, MixTV.tv offers video streaming as well as our games of the week. All of our high school football action is supplied by Wholesale Supply Group. Games on MixTV.tv are powered by Mountain View Nissan of Cleveland.
From the job site to the showroom, Wholesale Supply has the top brands you trust at the prices that work for your bottom line. With over 30 locations across the Southeast and over 75 years of service, no one supports contractors and communities like we do. Wholesale Supply, built to supply, trusted to deliver.
It's really important. It's not overreaction.
It is really important, but it also doesn't mean anything until the end of the season. And yet, we every week have this television show that's made for television. It's very cool.
What a show.
And it's extremely riveting. And so we all buy in. And then because of that, we all get super emotional about the rankings.
I like it.
And right now, Miami fans and Notre Dame fans and the country is very emotional about the situation between Miami and Notre Dame.
Like are Notre Dame fans pushing back against the whole, Miami won head-to-head, so they should be like. Does Notre Dame fans not think head-to-head matters?
I would imagine Notre Dame feels like they deserve to be in the top 10 because this is what the committee's telling you. This committee, when you look at these rankings, and it's not just where they have Miami and Notre Dame, but when you look at these rankings generally, big into the eye test, this committee, which they'll tell you, big into the eye test. It's not about resumes. It's about what we're seeing. And so I guess they've decided what they're seeing.
And it's about who you almost beat.
Right. And apparently who you almost beat. But what they're seeing is a Notre Dame team that's going one direction and a Miami team that's going another is what they're saying. Now, does that run thin if Miami goes out and absolutely demolishes Pitt? Right?
Yeah, that's going to be super important because last week Notre Dame beats Pitt 37-15.
Right.
Miami needs to have a very similar effort.
So now Miami has to make these statements the same way that we see Notre Dame make these statements against the Leicester team because apparently beating Notre Dame wasn't the statement. And that's what's insane.
Well, and it also hurts that it happened. So this part's interesting, right? It hurts that it happened at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So, there's two.
So only schedule your hard games.
You're at a conference game
at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Like we, as a committee,
which I don't even know if you're allowed to. You're given certain dates that you're allowed to fill in, right?
No, that's too much logic. We, as a committee, we want to encourage out of conference games. So we're going to give you a bump for playing them, but they need to be at the proper time of year.
Yeah, just know if you win it at the first game of the year, or if you lose it for that matter, we're going to overlook it.
Right. Right. Well, we might not totally overlook it. If you lose it, we're actually going to take that into account and think that that's a good thing. But if you win it, we're not really going to care because it was a long time ago. And that's essentially the attitude that this committee has taken. And it's hard to understand because the committee is in a situation where it feels like they're trying to force teams in based also like the Utah Utes are in this because analytics will tell you the Utes are good and they should be part of this conversation, and yet their resume will tell you that they don't really have the good wins on their resume. Like, what are we talking about? But it feels like with the committee, because they're doing the eye test, and they're doing this, and they're doing that, and they're applying whatever.
Is that your committee impression?
That's my committee. We're doing this, and we're doing that, and we're doing whatever.
Yeah, you work on that.
All right, you know what? Actually, let's just hear for the committee. So that was my impression of Hunter Yurachek. Let's see what he actually sounds like. Here's the College Football Playoff Committee chairman. He was asked about, head-to-head matchups, and if they give a darn about them.
Well, I think you look at what happened this week when we compared Alabama and Oklahoma in a similar spot where 8, 9, and 10, where we were comparing those teams. Oklahoma obviously got the nod based on their 2-point win at Oklahoma. So if Miami and Notre Dame are in a comparable tier, comparable range, the head-to-head will be a significant data point that we will use.
So they're telling you.
That was my impression, by the way.
You know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be honest.
It's kind of.
It was a lot closer than that.